defenses do, but
yeah, it's true.
They are capable of holding Seattle down.
There is a man named Milton Williams, and Milton Williams does not get spoken about.
No.
For whatever reason, but he could be the whole key to this game. On the Fan.
Hold on, I'm trying to work my.
Well, they're
trying to work my internet here.
The middle of their defense. Milton Williams, their defensive line.
Yeah.
And Barmore, Christian Barmore, Milton Williams. So the Rams, listen. I thought the Seahawks and Rams were the two best teams. Okay.
Yes.
But it turned out, and they probably were, if we're being honest.
Yes.
But it turned out that the Rams defense just was not performing at the level it needed to at the right time.
No, their secondary was very spotty at best.
Well, but they also are supposed to have this monster pass rush, and they did not get to Sam Darnold.
No.
They basically said, hey, we're going to dare Sam Darnold to beat us. Well, Sam Darnold beat them. The Patriots are going to do the same thing, only they have Milton Williams. They have Christian Barmore. These are guys up front, and to your point of the Patriots just have dudes up front on defense that can really, I think, give the Seahawks some problems. That's not to say that the Patriots win, but I feel like this matchup, the more I look into this matchup, the Patriots do a lot of things that give Seattle problems. The other one on the other side is that Drake May plays a lot like the quarterbacks that have given Seattle's defense problems.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of getting fired up. I know this game is not one of the most talked about Super Bowls. I think it's kind of an off the radar Super Bowl because people are tired of maybe the Patriots always being in the Super Bowl, and then the Seattle team to a lot of the country is a whatever. Not big star power with Sam Darnold or anything, but I think it's going to be fantastic. I mean, yes, you can, diminish the Patriots, but how many times are we going to do that until we just finally realize, no, yes, they've had an easy schedule. That's true. But they still win. Well, and so I don't know why it would be any different here.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to pull up there. I was trying to pull the schedule there to make sure I was getting this right. But so in their 3 playoff games, and again, I don't care that you were playing beat-up teams. The 49ers played beat-up teams too, right? Let's not act like when the 49ers were playing the Seahawks were playing the 49ers, that was a team going at full strength. But they held Justin Herbert and the Chargers to 3 points. They held the Texans to 16 points, and they held the Broncos to 7 points. So again, you can only play who you play in the conditions that you've played. And this defense has been absolute elite. And it's not necessarily a leaky secondary. Again, they've got guys up front. They've got guys that are filling roles that aren't necessarily household names. But, Chasen, who was a kind of a bust, one of their outside linebackers, has been one of those guys that in the Vrabel system, Brian Flores does this a lot, where you don't necessarily have like the all-pro players, but you find guys that fit your system, and they play well, and they don't make mistakes, they don't give up big plays, and they've been suffocating. And again, when we look at the Seahawk offense, that when the Seahawks offense is cooking, yeah, it's a really good offense. But let's also not forget that in 2 games they played against the Rams this year before the playoffs, Sam Darnold turned it over 6 times. We've seen the Niners muddle them down. We've seen this offense for much of the year. We talked about the Seahawks offense as the thing that was going to hold them back. And now you have an elite defense that they're going up against. They are absolutely capable of holding the Seahawks down into the teens. And that's the sort of game. That's the one thing I'll say about New England is there is a narrow window for them to win. They need to play this game a certain way. I think why people like Seattle is that if this thing goes outside of kind of the low-scoring defensive struggle, then I don't really see a path forward, especially the way Drake May has been playing. Like, when you look at the last month, Drake May in this offense really hasn't been cooking. And so if it does end up being one of those games that ends up being more of a high-scoring shootout and some things happen that way, Seattle's comfortable in playing multiple styles, and I don't think New England is. So I think that's kind of the advantage for Seattle. But I definitely see a path forward where New England is going to be able to make this game closer than what people are thinking. And it's also why you see the spread, despite everyone leaning in on Seattle, the spread hasn't moved. This is not a touchdown game. It's sitting right there at like 4.5, and it's been there ever since it started.
Well, we hope it's a good one. We're going to speak a lot about it today. Believe it or not, we have Joey Harrington coming on at 5:30 for the very final Football Friday here on the Tullamore Dew Football Festival Friday.
Yes.
Fun. It's fantastic.
There you go. Just throw a lot of F's in there. It's football. It's fantastic. There's a festival.
So Joey's going to come on, and I'm going to talk to him about Sam Darnold. Is he already vindicated, or does he need to finish this off Will we ever even fully trust Sam Darnold? You know, because I still don't.
Well, I've got a.
Not gonna lie.
I got something on that because I do think that regardless of what happens, there will be. Well, we'll talk about it.
And we will also
because I have an opinion on
offer our well, I don't care about your. No, I'm just kidding. We will also offer our proposal to Joey Harrington to buy Music Millennium.
Oh yeah.
We will.
Yeah, public service announcement.
Yeah, we will shame him into buying Music Millennium, and what we will offer him is we know the perfect guy to run it.
100%.
We have that.
Yes.
And he can't have it unless he buys Music Millennium.
I like where we're going with this. Well, it's about time we bullied him into doing something.
So that'll be at 5:30. We are going to talk to Patrick Harris here in a bit. If you are a Timbers fan, you might want to tune in to hear what he has to say. Yeah. That's going to be at 3:30. And we will also shame him regarding the name of his show, Timbers Fan.
We've had a lot of shows on The Fan.
Better or worse than Sports Saturday?
Look, I don't want to throw stones, but that may be as bad as it gets. We're going to have to rework that. Can we workshop that? Is that official? Is there a headline somewhere in there?
I don't think we can change anything, but
No.
I do believe we should.
Yeah, maybe we should retool it just a scooch.
The best part is you guys didn't even really believe me that was the show. Like that's what it was called. No, you guys didn't believe me.
No, we thought
it really is called Timbers Fan.
What are you listening to, Timbers Fan? What?
But it's going to be interesting to see how see the Timbers audience. Now that we have the Timbers, and so we're going to discuss that at 3:30 with my man Patrick.
So
Harris.
there's more than one. Doesn't Timber fan just imply that there's a single fan?
What else do we have today? Well, we're going to talk about the legend of Dick Hammer.
Needs to be discussed.
Well, yes. This is, I think, our last chance.
Yeah.
Dick Hammer was Sam Darnold's grandpappy.
Is this going to be the secret to the Seahawks victory?
The guy was the man.
Yeah. Well, his name is Dick Hammer, for God's sake.
So when we come back, I want to tell you what DeAnthony Thomas is up to now.
I saw this. I was not prepared for it either.
No. Fascinating.
It was weird.
We will get to that coming up next. We are live from Kells Brewery. We're on 21st in Northwest Portland for the Tullamore Dew Football Festival. If you come by here, you can enter to win tickets to the Kells Portland Irish Festival, which I'm told is the biggest St. Patrick's Day celebration.
Let me tell you.
In Portland. Oh, and Kurt Ludwig is here now.
That's a good time.
And
by the
he's
way.
at
Not
the bar.
Ludwig. I'm talking about the smoker that Kells puts on.
Well, Ludwig's a good time too.
That's true.
Give him. Let's see, it's 3:16. Give him an hour to lube up, and he'll be good time, Charlie.
Yeah, he'll be making an ass of himself.
All right, we'll be right back here on 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
Well, I would say the festival is brewing.
I see what you did there.
I don't think it's in. Oh, yeah. God, didn't even know it.
Look at you.
Well, I wouldn't say it's full-on festival yet,
No.
but it's brewing.
It's
There, you can feel it. You can feel it. As the Ludwigs start to drink,
I walked into that one again.
you can feel it.
Yeah. You're saying momentum is being built.
Yeah, I can
right
feel
now.
it. So it's the Friday before the Super Bowl. We're at Kel's Brewery on 21st, courtesy of Tullamore Dew. If you stop by here, you can win tickets to Kel's Portland Irish Festival, which is a big bad St. Paddy's Day party. And it's also brought to you by Video Only, who summons you to purchase a new top-rated TV.
Yeah.
From Video Only.
Well, there's a football game this weekend. Can't be
Yeah.
watching on some crappy, 30-inch screen. Let's go. Step your game up.
Now, if you're a Timbers fan, you're going to like our next segment. I just don't know how many Timbers fans listen to us. But it's going to be an interesting experiment now that we have the Timbers on the Fan.
Yes.
To see how the Timbers do compared to the traditional sports fan audience.
Well, we've always said that, soccer fan, I've been going to the Timbers now for about 4 or 5 years on a regular basis. I probably go to more Timbers games than I do anything else. And I will say that there's certainly, from my experience, there is a crossover, but soccer fan is a unique sport fan. Because I've always said, if you're a baseball fan, chances are you're a basketball fan, you're a football fan, and vice versa. Soccer fan tends a lot of times to just be soccer fan. In fact, sometimes soccer fan that's all it is. They're not even necessarily a sports fan. They're just a fan of soccer. So it is kind of unique in that way. But I run into plenty of listeners when I'm out at Providence.
Well, it's kind of anecdotal. We've always kind of thought, the soccer audience was different than the traditional sports radio audience in the U.S. And there's nothing to say that that's true. I don't know. So I guess we're going to find out now that the Timbers have married with the Fan Global Sports Radio Network. So Patrick will come on to talk about that in our next segment. I saw the Ryan Clark article on DeAnthony Thomas and found it beyond fascinating. DeAnthony Thomas is back in Eugene.
Yeah.
And he's living there as he's doing small business loans at a brokerage.
Yeah.
And I had completely forgotten about DeAnthony Thomas because he's just not playing in the NFL anymore. So he was with the Ravens, and he opted out of the COVID season. And since then, he has never gotten another chance. And based on his quotes in this article, he's not quite over that.
No, because he said he never retired.
He wants to play.
Yes.
But nobody wants him.
No.
And I don't know why that is. They didn't really go into that. But the premise of the article was, and why it fascinated me, was DeAnthony Thomas is now a disc golfer.
Yes. He's a disc golfing enthusiast. That's what he's poured his passion into.
And he says that, he even brought up Tiger Woods. He said, Tiger Woods did a lot of things in real golf, and I'm going to do those things in disc golf.
Look, I'm not going to lie, that when I read that, there was a little bit of me that was like, whoa. Well,
he's not short on confidence.
No, he's not. And you asked why no one wants him, because he wasn't good.
Well, he doesn't see that.
No. So this is one of those things I think DeAnthony Thomas was a phenomenal collegiate player. Phenomenal. His skill set never translated to the NFL. He's not a running back. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's not a great route runner. He's not a great catcher of the football. He's just really fast. In fact, when you go back and look at a lot of his stuff at Oregon, it was literally one crease. You get him in open space, no one was catching him. That usually doesn't translate well to the NFL, because you just, when you're a one-trick pony, that just doesn't work. And now that you're a little bit older, I was looking through here. His best year in the NFL was his rookie year, and he caught 23 balls. So his receptions went from 23, 17, 7, 14 to 3. And then his last 2 years, 1.
Yeah, he never really did much.
No, he never did.
Return man.
He was a return guy.
But I don't know. He says he deals with a lot of trauma, and because of that, he takes it out on the disc.
Yeah.
When he throws it.
Yeah.
So at least he's found a healthy outlet for his seeming. He's like pent up. Sort of anger.
Well, I think when you are, and I've seen this in some shape or form, lots of different guys. D'Anthony Thomas, from the time he was a little kid, was the very best at what he did. And he was the very best in high school, went to college, made an immediate impact. And it's hard when you no longer become the guy. When you just, and not that I, was ever D'Anthony Thomas, but I know what that feels like. Every level I was ever at, I was like, I can do this. And then you get to the NFL and you're like, I can't really do this. And he did it way better than me. But I don't know. I had the reality of that strike me real fast. But I think for a lot of guys that have that level of confidence, he will never believe that the lack of success was anything due to him.
Right.
There will always be a circumstance around him, and that's fine.
Well, I think a lot of guys are like that, but it's pretty obvious that that's true based on the things that he says in here. But I guess he plays in disc golf tournaments all around Oregon.
Yeah.
He's like taking over.
Well,
and he plays with some guy who doesn't even know he played football at Oregon, and they're buddies now.
It's got to be a trip if you show up to your local, disc golf course and you turn around and there's D'Anthony Thomas.
Yeah, and he's into it.
And I think he's got it. Remember, he had his own logo, and he was one of those guys who was going to change the game.
I thought of you because he said at the end of the article, he said, I need to get NIL from disc golf. I didn't even have a car when I was at the University of Oregon.
Stop it.
That's what made me think of you.
That's so...
He didn't, I think he's feeling a little left out of the NIL game.
Well, I will say, in today's world, D'Anthony Thomas would have been worth a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. He was the number one recruit, was he not?
He was one of the number one recruits, yes. Now, that being said, there's a little rumor. Maybe I've heard it from multiple people that are pretty tied in, that one of the reasons that USC was so upset with D'Anthony Thomas is it's possible that USC thought they had a, quote, deal in place that D'Anthony Thomas agreed with, and then on signing day, he took a different deal.
Well, anytime somebody that highly rated flips, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious why.
And this is the thing that back in the day, you didn't have to pay back the first deal. Because the school that gave you the deal couldn't be like, hey, we want it back.
Okay, so guys now get he wouldn't have gotten $5 million, but what do you think he got paid?
To come to Oregon and USC, it was probably $150 to $200,000.
Yeah, okay. So I see why he's like, need a little NIL money.
Whereas today coming out, he, as a recruit like that, he's probably worth, $750 to $1 million. He would have been a big deal.
He was a big deal.
Yeah, he was. And then as he went on, yes, every one of those guys that didn't do a lot in the NFL probably, they're not probably. There has got to be a level of what the hell, man, because he would have been worth way more. He would have made so much more in his time in Oregon than he ever would have done in the NFL. Think like Diego Pavia. I'm sure in his couple years at Vanderbilt, he probably put $4 or $5 million in his pocket. He won't make a dime in the NFL. And I know D'Anthony played for a number of years, but I'll bet you if we looked up D'Anthony career earnings, it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $2-3 million, and he would have made double that in probably one season his last year at Oregon.
All right, well, we're going to get back to Super Bowl 60 coming up here a little bit later. Of course, Joey Harrington's going to join us. We've got a lot of talk of Patriots Seahawks. But up next,
he made just over $4 million.
All right, that's pretty good.
Not when you consider what he would have made in college under the current system.
But I mean, come on, dude. Yeah. I mean, that's in what, 5 years? $4 million in 5 years, pretty good. Up next, we're gonna ask Patrick Harris why his show is named Timbers Fan, and is that he's got 2 shows. This will be his new show.
Yes, he's working double.
The worst show name in the history of the Fan, because it's in the running.
I'm sure he's going to love this line of questioning.
Well, listen, you want to come on our show?
You ask the tough questions.
These are the questions that you're going to get.
Yes.
So we're going to learn about what Timbers Fan will be all about, a new show on the Fan, coming up next. But first, let's go back to the studio. Von Control with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Matthew Stafford. He walked away with the MVP award last night in the NFL Honors. Stafford received 24 of the 50 first-place votes, finished with 366 points, while Drake May finished second. He got 23 first-place votes and only finished 5 points behind Stafford. It was the closest race since Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were co-MVPs in 2003. But at the end of the acceptance speech, Stafford said the most important thing, he will be back with the Los Angeles Rams next season. Jim Schwartz, he has resigned as the Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator. The team announced today after he missed out on his bid to be the head coach. He walked out of the facility after that happened. He will no longer be with the Cleveland Browns. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has announced its class of 2026. It'll be Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig all made it, while Eli Manning and Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick did not. University of Arizona has extended their head football coach Brett Brennan through the 2030 season. Trailblazers hosting the Grizzlies tonight. Denny Advia questionable. Scoot Henderson expected to play is probable. Blazers on a 5-game losing streak, 9.5-point favorites over the Grizz. And Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza announced he will not be throwing at the NFL Combine. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Stephen Vaughn from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Yes. We are back here at Kells 21st. The Global Sports Radio Network.
That's right.
It's in its infancy, so
Yeah.
we're still working out the kinks.
Yeah.
But listen, very excited, as you guys announced last week while I was away, that the Timbers are now a part of 105.1 The Fan. We are going to carry their games here, and that's fantastic. And that means there's a new show on The Fan, and it will be every Tuesday night after us at 7 with a noted Timbers legend,
Yes.
Patrick Harris.
Timbers Army regular?
Are you in the Timbers Army?
Ooh, no, I am not an Army kid.
No.
No, I'm not an Army kid. I'm too old for that.
Well,
They stand the whole time. I like to sit. I'm worried about dropping my beer. I've had too much before the game. I can't stand the whole time.
But you know your Timbers.
I do. I get very fortunate as a Timbers fan. I was at the double post game in 2015 for the MLS Cup run there. The last time
Was
the
that Cody Parkey, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Anybody get my?
I like that you.
Anybody get my joke? Anyone? Anyone? Thank you very much. That's Cody. That's Chicago Bears humor.
Double doink.
The double doink.
The double
Don't
doink.
you remember
Oh,
the
yes,
double doink?
yes,
play?
yes.
Look,
The
Thank
Cody
you.
Parkey
Can I
game.
just say-
goalie
Yes,
on
I-
goalie.
I recognize my greatness.
I need to say that poll coming up with that's well played.
Thank
Boy,
you.
he caught
That's
me
well
off
played.
guard. That
Everybody
means it's
looked
a
at
great
me like
play.
I had 3 heads.
Bravo. Patrick's like, maybe, I don't know.
I'll never forget the last time the Timbers were in the MLS Cup. Our former boss, Jeff Sacramento, may he rest in peace, not dead. He finagled me a press pass into the MLS Cup final when it was up at Providence Park.
Ah, yes.
So I had a camera around my neck that didn't work, but nobody knew that, just so I could get in the building. And I wandered around, and the Timbers scored a goal late to tie the game. I'm high-fiving all these fans, and all of a sudden I look to my right, and I high-five this guy who's about 6'8", and I'm like, damn, that's a tall dude. It's Terry Stotts. And you're like, the Tear Bear.
The Tear Bear.
What up, dude?
Yeah, I was wildly drunk at that game, and that was awesome. They scored in extra time with like literally no time left. They scored with like 10 seconds left to send it into extras, and then they lost in penalty kicks.
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate to be a fan from the outside, and now that 105.1, the Fan has this new relationship with the Timbers. I dare I say it might be one of the more exciting things I've ever done here with us at the Fan is to try to build this brand and build this relationship and show Timbers Nation what 105.1 does, what you guys do so great, what we do so great at the station, and provide that for them.
So how much overlap do you think there has been between Timbers fans, like diehards, and that whole Timbers audience, and the traditional sports radio audience like the Fan has?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the best challenge of it all. Is that if I'm being honest, if we want to pull back the curtain for a moment, Timbers fans are not really 105.1 listeners, and 105.1 listeners are not Timbers fans. That's a reality.
Yeah.
So I think we have a really great opportunity here to kind of find a way to bridge that gap. You know, I think one thing that is so great about Timbers is it's more than what's going on the field. It's more about the environment, the culture, the scarves, the chants, the national anthem, you know, the trumpet in Timbers Army. Like, people love so much more than just what's going on the field. And I think that opens us up as the Fan to do something really special and really kind of merge those worlds together.
Well, and that got me. I was not a soccer fan. I started going to soccer games when I was over in Europe, just because it was an experience. That's how it got me. And then I started going to Timbers games on the regular 4 or 5 years ago, and I am not a soccer guy, and that wrote me in. And I go to more Timbers games than I probably do any other sporting event here, and I still am not the most knowledgeable soccer guy in the world, but it's a great time. And that's the thing. It's a blending of it, because it is a different world than what you're used to if you're a traditional like me, grew up playing the traditional or watching the traditional 4 sports.
Well, I think, Suk, you nailed this. I actually heard you the other day on the air when we announced our partnership with the Timbers. You mentioned this, and I screamed this to the heavens. In my opinion, honestly, there are no better 2 hours you can spend in this town on a summer nice day than up at Providence Park.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours. You're in, you're out, couple beers, we're having a great time.
And that's, me and my buddy, we joke, but this is our bar afterwards. We walk from the stadium over here to Kells, and it just kind of becomes like our summertime hangout, and everyone's walking up and down, and everyone's got the jerseys and the scarves, and it's just kind of like a walking party to all the different you do like a little pub crawl. And it really does give you a slice of some of the best stuff Portland has to offer. And so I'd encourage everyone, even if you're not a diehard soccer fan, dip your toes in and give it a whirl, because the sucker will rope you in, man. It's addictive.
So what are you going to do with your show? You going to be able to rope me into that?
Talking wood?
Like, how do you... Okay, so this is a fair question. Like, how do you balance... Like, so first of all, it's called Timber Fan, which we'll get to that in a second. But how do you balance talking diehard... talking to Timbers fans about the team and, the real ins and outs of it versus grabbing a guy like me who's I like soccer, been to a few Timbers games, don't know much about them. How do you balance those two different listeners?
Well, first and foremost, I am very fortunate that I'll be doing this show with Jake Zivin. Jake Zivin has done kind of podcast pregame stuff before. He is basically the Kevin Burkhardt, Jim Nance of the MLS world. So the MLS Game of the Week for Apple TV, Jake is the guy on play-by-play. He's the guy that follows that. He's a big Messi guy, obviously, because that's what drives the league. So he spends a lot of time following them. So one of the benefits that we have on Timbers Fan is it's myself and Jake lives here in town. He went to University of Oregon. He's a Duck. And now that he does a lot more for MLS on the Apple TV scale, he still is invested in the Timbers. So you have that local vibe from the both of us. But also, there's a lot of parallels to this show, if I'm being honest with you, Isaac, about what you guys do. There's some sports there, obviously, but there's also lifestyle. They're Timbers fans, what makes them so unique and what helps make them the best fan base in the MLS and the best fan base in America is we all love going to games, and we all love being a part of it and talking about the midfield. They can't press forward, and that goalkeeper is a dodgy keeper and all this kind of stuff. But we're also interested in where did you drink before the game? What'd you have for dinner last week? Oh, did you catch this new band? There's a lot more lifestyle that is involved in it. And in my preliminary talks with Jake and some of the stuff we are trying to push forward on that is to try to find ways to encapsulate the average Timber fan. That it's more to them than just the sports. It's the culture, the community, and all of that stuff.
So now the toughest question. And this is a new show on the Fan with Patrick Harris. It will air every Tuesday at 7.
The old hot corner spot.
Yeah. Beginning when, by the way?
We're going to be, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday we'll launch our first show ahead of opening night against Columbus on the 21st.
Why is it called Timbers Fan? And is that the worst show name in the history of the Fan?
Well, I'm going to put some of our peers that we respect and love on blast here for a moment.
Please do.
Brandon Sprague, I talked to him.
Okay.
He was like, I really worry about that show name because I also hosted a show called Game Night, and my old co-host Joseph Fisher III. He goes, that's rough for me, and I host Sports Saturday. Not our call.
Yeah.
I'm happy to embrace it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great.
It should be Talking Wood. That's all I know.
Jake, our media guy Jake, he brought up Talking Chop. So I'm going to steal that phrase and use that at some point.
Nah, it's Talking Wood. Anytime I promote it, I'm going to be like, hey, stick around because we're on before you.
Right.
I'm going to tell people to stick around for Talking Wood. It's sorry. I'm renaming this thing.
I'm more sad that nobody put into consideration, although they are different, the hot corner. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah, you
I'm
could-
biased towards that, obviously from my baseball days. But the corner is a
The
huge
corner
set
kick.
piece in soccer games.
It's like when you have a store that sells mattresses for lumbar support called the Lumbar Yard.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting clever with
exactly,
it.
Exactly.
So the Timbers shows Timbers fan, from what I understand. Did we submit?
Yeah.
We submitted several names to them, and that's what they
I
chose.
think
That's what our friends at the Timbers
Well, we
at
have
the
to,
Timbers
we have
settled
to
on.
respect it.
Yeah.
We have to respect it.
And it'll be a great show. It's just going to be an hour long. It'll be
Okay.
every Tuesday night from 7 to
Love
8.
it.
If you can't catch it live, you can podcast it. And like I said, we'll have coaches and players on. We'll have great interviews. We'll talk a little bit about the rest of the league. We'll talk about the Timbers game that just happened, what's coming up in the future. But also, Jake Zivin, my co-host, he travels all the time. So I want to ask him, you were in Kansas City this week. You were in Salt Lake this week. Zook, your old stomping ground in Utah. Like, where'd you eat? Where'd you have fun? I think we want to encapsulate that Timbers vibe of the culture and the fandom in that show as well.
Well, I think it's a great partnership because I really do think they're in the right place because both audiences can benefit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they truly are different audiences, our sports radio audience, sort of traditional American sports guy versus a soccer guy, or Timbers guy, I think that's a great partnership because they're in the right place because we're the biggest and best in town, and they're a huge deal. So they're expanding their brand as well, but we're expanding ours by entering into the Timbers realm. So I think this would be a very fascinating partnership to see how this unfolds and see what happens. But I know the Timbers are a huge deal here, and like you say, it is. I have a lot of friends who are huge Timbers fans, and it is more about the vibe and the culture of it. So it's a cool Portland deal to be associated with. Congratulations to you on the new show.
Thank you, sir.
The fan, the name, you had nothing. You couldn't control it.
Not my call.
But
Not
look,
my
you
call.
can't win them all, Jason.
Good luck talking wood.
Yeah, good luck.
On the
and
pitch.
Well,
Yeah, right. And I do the firm with Danny Meringue from 10 to 1 a.m. 10 to 1 p.m. Excuse me.
You're on that show.
Yes, I am on that show.
Speaking of, again,
that
lumbar
show.
yards. Yeah, those clever names.
And I'll tell you what, a side note, just to give a shout out to our wonderful hosts here at Kells. If you're talking Blazers, which we do a lot on our show, obviously we have Danny, who's our Blazer guy here at the Fan. If you want to know how to have a stadium and an area around the stadium, come to Providence Park.
Yeah.
There's Kells right here who does it better than everybody else. But there are literally, Jason, you know this. There
Mox,
are 30
Marathon,
bars.
you name it.
I'm a Commodore guy.
Yep.
I'm a Kells guy,
All
just
kinds
like
of
you. This is how you interact around a stadium.
It
Because
is,
this place,
it is kind of sad if you go to a Blazer game, then you go to a Timbers game. The before and after experience, it's a shame.
it's a
The-
30-block radius.
Yeah, it's a shame that the Blazers have nothing going on.
Well, I'm a key contributor to the rise of the Timbers Army. You do know that, right?
I do know
You
this.
remember
Yes,
that-
I do know the
So
story.
I was a bartender at a place called the Bitter End.
Yes.
I know the bitter end. I actually know the owner of the building.
Yeah, is it still Prell?
It is, because
Yeah.
I worked for him at the Lake Theater
Yeah.
and Cafe.
Yeah.
If you've heard about the Melania
yeah,
stuff.
So
the one on
Prell-
Lake Oak.
Prell is great.
Prell's son, John, he gave the bar to his son, John. And John Prell, I was walking by one day. I just moved to Portland. This is like 2001. And I was walking by on Burnside, probably half drunk, who knows. And I see a guy painting in there, and it was John Prell. And I went in, I said, hey, I bartended back in the Midwest. Do you have any spots? I got hired there. And the Timbers Army, so when the Timbers came, which, God, when did that all...
When they came back?
2012,
yeah.
I think, is the official
Was that when
MLS
it
year.
was it?
I'd have to double check 2011.
Something like that.
Was it that late? Okay,
It
yeah,
wasn't
so
long until
I
they
worked
won a
there-
title.
I worked there for many years.
Which used to
supplementing-
be the Timbers Bar.
Yeah,
the bitter end.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So I worked there for many years, supplementing this horrible radio job that I had, supplementing my income.
We'll never survive on radio.
And but luckily, I worked there, and the Timbers became a huge deal.
2009, they came
It was
back.
okay.
Thank you.
09, there we go.
09.
Because there was baseball there for a while, and then of course they did the stadium and thing. And the Timbers Army used to beat their drums and march into our bar, and it would get super busy, and they were very passionate and very nice. But I gotta say, terrible tippers. So every time they would come in, I'd be like, and we were they would just drink a beer, a pint, and then go to the game. You know, it wasn't like a huge, like, it's not going to do shots and big tabs or anything. But every time the Army would come in, I was like,
I'll tell you what, Rob.
I think they need to step up their game. But I'm guessing by now, in 2026, 17 years later, they have.
I'll do you solid. At the end of the show, I will say, tip your bartender.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. See, the synergy with the partnership is already glowing.
I got you, boo-boo.
It's all coming together.
So listen every Tuesday night to Timbers Fan with Patrick Harris and some other guy named
Jake
Jake.
Zivin.
Yeah, it's gonna be
great dude. Great dude.
It's going to be great. Right after us. Okay, we'll be back. Get back to Super Bowl 60 coming up next. We're here at Kells Brewery on 21st on The Fan.
Fan.
All right, coming up next hour, we're going to get more into the Super Bowl. A lot of folks are saying that, a lot of people saying this could be like a home game for Seattle, even though it's, it's the Super Bowl. It's very corporate.
Sure.
But it being on the West Coast, not a lot of Patriots fans coming out this way.
I wonder, does it ever feel like there's a decided home field advantage in the Super Bowl? I mean, the way the ticket allotments happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, and it's so expensive.
Don't you think that if there, I'd have to go back and look at I guess Tampa Bay
played in their home stadium.
The Brady Super Bowl, they were in their home stadium.
They were in their home stadium,
So
yes.
I would imagine, yes, there is a...
But the Indiana played in the national title game in Miami, and it was decidedly Indiana fans.
Well, you mean Miami played in the national title game in Miami?
What did I say?
You said Indiana played in the national title game, which they did.
Yeah, they did.
So technically you're not wrong, but I think you meant...
Indiana played in Miami's home stadium,
Correct.
and it was decidedly Indiana fans.
Come on, Indiana fan... Well, I guess I can't really make... I guess... What I was about to say is Indiana has way more fans than Miami.
Yeah.
But being in Miami. Yeah, in Miami, it's not like the U doesn't have a ton of fans. They do.
Look,
so
I know that...
That is a little weird.
The ticket allotment is the same for both sides. And I can't imagine that New England fan isn't going to gobble up whatever it is. It's 14% of the tickets. But yeah, I mean, the fact that one's in New England and one's on the West Coast, yeah, I would assume that there will be a tick of more Seattle fans, but I don't think that the home field in the Super Bowl ever really matters. I mean, the only reason a home field matters is from a sake of audibles and communication, and I just don't think that it's going to be loud enough to cause problems for either side.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it would cause problems, but I don't know. The 12s just up by 5.
Yeah.
Heading down there.
I just don't know. That goes back to I don't know who can afford these sorts of things.
Well, isn't this one of the cheaper Super Bowl tickets?
And they did. In fact, I just had a buddy of mine literally just text me last break and said he's looking at Super Bowl tickets, and he goes, they keep dropping. And
How much are they?
And he was like, I can ask him. He's like, ... I think he's considering jumping on a plane if they keep dipping.
Is he a Seahawks homer?
No, I just think I think West Coast.
To go to the Super Bowl.
He just wants to go to the Super Bowl, and like you said, normally it's such an expensive ticket, but they are saying that this one is not reaching that threshold. So maybe you do get more Seahawks fans because as the prices dip, maybe more Seahawks fans are willing to jump on this.
Well, I read that it is certainly. What would be the word? It's certainly imbalanced towards Seattle in terms of tickets. But like I said, once you get all the corporate seats and
I mean, it's pretty. I think it's pretty sanitized, regardless of who's playing.
Stale.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the legend of Dick Hammer, who might be the X factor in this game, and he's not even alive.
Dick Hammer.
Coming up next on The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford walked away with the MVP award last night at the NFL Honors. Stafford just beat Drake May, the Patriots quarterback. Stafford received 24 of 50 first-place votes, while Drake May got 23 first-place votes. It was the closest MVP race since 2003 when Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were actually co-winners. More importantly, at the end of Stafford's speech, he announced he will be coming back to the Rams next season. Someone that won't be coming back is Jim Schwartz. He resigned as the Browns defensive coordinator today. He missed out on the bid to be the head coach of the Browns, and Schwartz was passed over by Todd Monken. He then left the facility after that happened, never came back, and he will now no longer be with the Cleveland Browns. Pro Football Hall of Fame announced his class of 2026. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, Roger Craig all made it. University of Arizona, they have extended head football coach Brent Brennan through the 2030 season. Trailblazers back at it tonight against the Grizzlies. Denny Advia, questionable. Scoot Henderson expected to play, season debut and probable. Blazers on a 5-game losing streak, 9.5-point favorites over the Grizz. And Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza announced he will not be throwing at the NFL Combine. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Stephen Vaughn from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Recruit. The Fan.
Well, they're going to call it. No, they are calling it. They're not going to. They call it the big one, the Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show, presented by Leupold at the Portland Expo Center, February 11th through 15th. You can enter to win a family 4-pack of tickets to that show right now at 1051thefan.com. We've got Joey Harrington coming up next hour. We'll talk a little bit about the Sam Darnold effect. I was listening to, however things populate in your timeline, I saw Dan Lebitard came through mine today.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Sam Darnold, so I clicked on it, and I thought he made a good point. He was talking about how Sam Darnold, because I don't know. I don't even know how to get Dan Lebitard's show. I've always respected Dan Lebitard,
Yeah.
but
I catch it online sometimes, like on YouTube.
I never really listened to it, but he was on there and he was saying, oh my gosh, Darnold is amazing because, he's made it all the way to the Super Bowl. He shut everybody up, and he's not bragging about it.
Yeah.
Like, he's not saying in your face. He's not pulling the Baker Mayfield, everyone doubted me and now look, type of thing.
Sure.
Which I think is a great point and makes you want to, among other things, makes you want to root for Sam Darnold. Like, he is, what a great story, but also what a great dude.
Yeah, when you look at everything he went through, I talked to Joey about this while you were gone, but we ended up having a really good conversation about it because Joey kind of brought up the mental side of it and not getting broken, right? And because Joey and Sam were both the third pick in the draft, both went to large markets. Sam worse than Joey, New York versus Detroit. But, the idea that at no point, remember Sam Darnold even had the I'm seeing ghosts, right? He got caught on a live mic saying that. And he was that punching bag and was run out of town and was mocked. And so just the idea that you're able to maintain your confidence through that, and he does give credit to Shanahan that year in San Francisco with kind of help calming him down. And then he ends up with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. And even after that, think about that. He goes to that whole year in Minnesota where you think he kind of proved himself. They won, 13, 14 games. Asses out at the end of the year, flames out in the playoffs. And the Minnesota Vikings, who he just led to like the second best record in the NFL, they booed him. And he ends up in Seattle. Like Joey talked about how many different times throughout that guy's career that could have broken him, and it didn't. And even this year, right? He led the league in turnovers. There was still plenty of bad Sam Darnold. And he gets into the postseason. And what do we say? Well, if there's a thing that's going to keep Seattle from the Super Bowl, it's going to be Sam Darnold. And he hasn't turned the ball over once. This really is an amazing story. And regardless of what happens, and this is unfortunately the narrative that we get, Sam Darnold is not a great quarterback, and he's not a terrible quarterback. And regardless of what happens in the Super Bowl, it's not going to change that. Right? Sam Darnold is good enough to win a Super Bowl. Sam Darnold is not good enough to carry a team. He's not a $60 million quarterback. But we have this. It's the Jalen Hurts thing. Well, if you win a Super Bowl, you're a top 5 quarterback. No. There has to be some room in there for a guy to just be a really solid player and be part of an elite team and not necessarily the only thing, especially at that position. But you're right. He's easy to root for, and he has every reason to be chip on the shoulder guy and FU guy, and he's not. I've never heard him say it once.
Yeah, he's. I was looking at his numbers, so it's. I don't know. You mentioned Rich Gannon once in terms of like a career arc.
Yes.
That was like his. Certainly, Kurt Warner comes to mind, but that was a completely different circumstance. Alex Smith. I was thinking about Alex Smith today.
I can see that.
A little bit of a similar career.
He just
arc.
never got a chance to go to the big game. But yeah, wash out and then had a really nice kind of second half of his career.
But I think we underestimate. I think we've kind of forgotten how bad Sam Darnold was.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like he was just sort of average.
Yeah.
With the Jets, I mean, he started 3 years with the Jets, 4-9, 7-6, 2-10.
Yeah.
No great stats to speak of. Then he goes to Carolina, was terrible, 4-7. One of his worst his worst quarterback rating of his career. He then starts 6 games the next year, 2022. Fares better. They go 4-2, but he's still out of there. San Francisco, he only started 1 game.
Yeah.
Then he goes to Minnesota, and suddenly he's 14-3, but then gets exposed at the end of the season. And he comes to Seattle, goes 14-3. Now he's in the damn playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, it's really incredible, his story, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of one of one. Like, I'm curious to, and because Joey and I have talked about, and you and I and the three of us have talked about the Sam Darnold story before, but I just wonder how many guys can be Sam Darnold, or is this unique? Because I think Joey kind of views himself as Sam Darnold who never got those other opportunities.
He talked about it. He said that Joey said that when he went to New Orleans, that's what he was trying to do. Sit, learn behind Drew Brees, and figure it out. And then he said he just never really got that opportunity to go on and be the guy somewhere else. But yes, I think you're seeing more and more teams that are kind of coming around to this idea.
Well, like, how many Sam Darnolds are out there? I mean, I know Geno Smith kind of had a little bit of
had the same thing.
But I also don't think he is at the Sam Darnold level.
No, but they're very similar players in that, like, this is going to sound terrible, but had Sam Darnold gone to the Raiders this year, he's Geno Smith. And I don't know if Geno Smith has the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, but they would have been. Geno Smith was a good quarterback. So much of it is the circumstances that you find yourself in. So whether that's Baker Mayfield, whether that's Geno Smith, whether it's Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson, I think maybe has and Russell was better than this, but it's like, had Russell not grown up with that Seahawks team, had he started his career in New York, is he Sam Darnold and would need that second path? I just think there needs to be an understanding that there are some quarterbacks that will be successful no matter what situation you put them in to some level, right? Joe Burrow goes to a crappy Cincinnati team and it doesn't matter. He can will them to that. Josh Allen is kind of ugly his first couple years in Buffalo, but Josh Allen was always going to be great. Justin Herbert was not a lot around him. But the vast majority of players in this league, from Joey Harrington to Sam Darnold to Geno Smith to Baker Mayfield, so much of it is predicated on what is built around you. Having a good O-line, having a run game, having a defense, having good coaching. You don't think that playing under Shanahan and O'Connell and then Kubiak in back-to-back years wasn't an absolute savior for Sam Darnold? Now the question becomes, win or lose, what does Seattle do with Sam Darnold? Is he worth $50 million? You know, what happens when Kubiak leaves and you bring in another OC?
Well, if he wins the Super Bowl, don't you have to pay him?
I wouldn't pay him $50 million.
Well, you might have to.
Well, and herein lies...
So you're not paying Sam Darnold if they win this?
Herein lies the ultimate question.
I think you got to keep it together.
I do think you got to keep it together, but this is going to sound terrible, like I'm crapping on Sam Darnold, and I'm not. Sam Darnold is really, really good. And Sam Darnold in these playoff games has been the best version of Sam Darnold. That game against the Rams was the best game Sam Darnold has played as a professional. And that is great. Could you win the Super Bowl with this Seahawks team and 15 other quarterbacks in the NFL? Yes. Yes, you could. And I know they're two very different players, but this is a little bit like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had phenomenal playoff run with Philadelphia. And Jalen Hurts won that Super Bowl and was a great player at that. And then they gave Jalen Hurts all that money. And I think everyone's realizing now that Jalen Hurts is not a guy that can carry your team. Jalen Hurts needs to be a part of a great team. And Sam Darnold needs to be part of a great team. Sam Darnold cannot be, in my opinion, a guy that makes $55 million a year. It's the Brock Purdy thing, right? Brock Purdy's a really good quarterback, but now you're asking the question, is he $55 million good? Because in this league, you either are on a team-friendly deal or you're good enough to make up for the holes that your salary creates. And Seattle is going to have to make that determination of eventually of what Sam Darnold's worth to that team.
Well, he's already at $33 million.
Yes.
Tua's at $53 million.
Yeah.
Like you said, Purdy's at $53 million. Looking through, Trevor Lawrence is at $55 million. I mean,
he did lead the league in turnovers.
I know, but I think if you win a Super, and that's where I come back to. It's like we're boiling this down to one game, which you got to be careful. But if he goes out and turns it over 3 times and they lose,
yeah, it's tough.
This is a totally different conversation. That sucks for Sam Darnold, but he's done everything right and pretty much shaking the monkey off his back.
Yes.
But he still kind of has to finish this off,
yes,
like, in order to really say. Because if he, let's say he goes out and plays as well as he did against the Rams,
it goes a long way,
and he beats the Patriots, I think I am ready to pay him 53. Because that's just the going. Look, I don't want to, but I want to keep this together.
Yeah. Well, the nice part is I think he has at least one more year. I thought it was a 3-year deal, so he's got another year. Like you're going to, and. So you get next year to deal with this, and then after you're going to have to make the decision about whether you resign him or you have him a lame duck or anything to do with that. So you don't have to make the decision after this year. But yes, to your point, what happens here is going to go a long way into shaping that narrative. But for me, and this is all I'm saying, Sam Darnold, whatever happens in the Super Bowl does not change my opinion of Sam Darnold. Winning a Super Bowl did not change my opinion of Joe Flacco. It did not change my opinion of Brad Johnson. It did not change my opinion of Jalen Hurts. I'm trying to think of who else. Trent Dilfer would fall into this category. These are all really good players. But there is a threshold to what I'm willing to pay that player. And luckily, like I said, Seattle doesn't have to decide that at least for another year. I just don't like that we get so caught up in the did you or didn't you win. Sam Darnold has been great for the Seattle Seahawks, and he's been great these last couple playoff games when they've needed him the most. And I hope he finishes it off, because if he doesn't, all the talking heads are going to go right back to the same old crap, and we're going to bury this guy. And it's not fair, because he's never going to be what some people want him to be, and he's never going to be what other people are trying to make him. The truth is it lies somewhere in the middle of those two extremes.
I think it will be fair. It will just be he will be a product of his own success in that, or it'd be the downfall of his own success, whatever the stupid saying is. But he's just played so well that it's on us more than on him if he doesn't see this through and the old Sam Darnold pops up. Like that's not. It's like that's Sam Darnold.
Yep.
But you're right that we will. He's going to take a lot of heat if that ends up happening.
Yes.
And he probably shouldn't, because like you said, he led the league in turnovers. That is who he is.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think he can play really well in this game. Like, I feel like we've kind of boiled the Seahawks down to, if Sam Darnold doesn't turn it over, they're going to win. no matter what.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think he can play really well, take care of the ball in this game, and they can still lose.
Well, let's remember, he took care of the ball really well, didn't turn it over against the Rams, and they damn near got him. Now, the question becomes, on the other side, is that Rams offense kind of had its way with the Seahawks defense, and not many teams have. And this goes back to the larger point of, does New England's offense have the ability for the first time in a month and a half to pull their head out of their ass and actually do something to help the defense out?
Yeah, May's got to play a lot better. I mean, he just has not been good in the playoffs.
Plain and simple.
But, again, it's the same thing. It's like he was an MVP candidate throughout the season, so we know it's in there.
Yep.
He's just played some really good defenses in the postseason, and
here's
now
another
he's
one.
Facing the best one.
Yeah. I personally think that both quarterback plays are going to be at a premium here. I think both of these defenses are going to cause a lot of problems.
We'll get to more.
And that's what scares me a little bit about the Sam Darnold thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think, too, in a sense that I feel like the Patriots are the first team that the Seahawks have seen since, God, I'm thinking back through their games.
It's been a bit.
Since that last regular season Rams game that can
heat
up Sam Darnold up the middle, like we were talking about earlier with Milton Williams and
Barrymore.
Those guys are nasty.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks offensive line has been playing great, but they may have met their match here, and if they have, that's where we need to see Sam Darnold we need to see if he's made any progress at all.
Yeah.
Because we know what that looks like, and it's not pretty.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, New England specializes in being able to stop the run with light boxes where they don't have to commit an extra guy in. And the Seahawks in that run game have really struggled against teams like this. So the Seahawks run game, like from a statistical advantage here, it's not much of one against New England. And so this may come down to Sam Darnold, like what against the Rams. Hey, we're going to need you to sling the ball. And then that's what Sam Darnold shows up.
It's a great matchup. We'll talk more about Darnold with Joey coming up at 5:30. We'll dig more into the game, but I need to talk about Dick Hammer. Okay, This is Sam Darnold's
we need
grandfather,
the Hammer,
and I don't know if you know his story.
Oh yeah,
but it's freaking fantastic.
And his name is Dick Hammer.
And that'll be next on the Fan. So the real hero of this Super Bowl, if Sam Darnold, let's say he wins MVP, which, by the way, Sam Darnold the favorite to win Super Bowl MVP.
I think it's probably pretty safe, right? Just bet on one of the quarterbacks. Although this strikes me as one of those games, this could easily be a DB or,
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
a pick six in this game by a DB. Because I think this game is going to be played in the teens. This has like 17, 21, maybe 24, 14. A pick six or something like that, a kick return, could be one of those weird MVP type games.
Funky things happen in the Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
Darnold is like plus 100. You can get Drake May at plus 225 right now, which to me seems like a little bit of value. If we think it's going to be a close game, it usually goes to the quarterback, but you're right, it could be anybody. Anyway, the real MVP is Dick Hammer, and Dick is the grandfather of Sam Darnold.
And is the model of masculinity, and his name is Dick Hammer.
He is, except that, and now of course the listeners some of them will yell at us about this, but he was on did you know that Dick Hammer was on the 1964 Summer Olympics U.S. volleyball team?
That I did not know.
Did you know that?
No, I thought he was a basketball guy.
Well, he was. But he was also a volleyball guy.
I was not aware.
Dude, he was the Marlboro Man?
Yes. The Marlboro Man is the ultimate, like,
God.
if you've seen any of the old Marlboro ads, like, it's just
That's him.
It's something else.
And what's even better about him, okay, so he grew up in L.A. He's like an L.A. legend, Dick Hammer.
Yes.
Okay, he went to USC, just as Sam Darnold did. And in 1964, they beat the Netherlands to make it to the Olympics.
Okay.
In Tokyo that year. And so he played on the 1964 U.S. Olympic volleyball team. And there are some really cool photos of him. I don't know, like, what do you call it when you...
Set? Bump set spike?
Like, what do you call it when you block it?
That's
like,
a block.
Yeah,
That's the block.
Blocking balls and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's bump.
Spiking
You got
balls.
the bump, the set, the spike, and the block.
Well, anyway, it was he was on the team. That was the first Olympic volleyball match win in world history, and Dick Hammer was there. Richard Bernard Dick Hammer. So then, 60 years later, here's Sam Darnold playing in the Super Bowl. Dick was first and foremost a basketball player, as you mentioned. In 1950, the Long Beach Press-Telegram described him, and he was 6'2", but back then that was super tall.
Absolutely.
He was a demon on rebounds and a long shot artist. See? And that was before he made it to USC. So by 1954, he helped USC reach the Final Four in basketball.
As a 6'2" white guard, it was good to be. It was good in the 60s, wasn't it?
Well, I think they were all white. It was 1954.
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, they were all white. Because when you do look at the USC basketball team, one, they all wore belts, and yes, that's an entirely white basketball team.
From what I gather, USC has not been to the Final Four since Dick Hammer was on their team.
Their team lacks a certain Hammer-like quality.
So this is all before the guy gets to college, or this is all through his college years.
Yes.
He was also said to be a real track and field stud, but nobody really knows because he did it at JUCO, like Fullerton JUCO.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So years later, Dick Hammer became a firefighter in L.A., and not just any firefighter. Apparently, he was the captain of the Universal Studios crew. So fire safety on the, as they were producing movies and such.
Is that how he got into the whole?
That was his job. Yeah, because he became an actor.
Yeah, he became an actor, and that's how he ended up. So that's how he just was on the studio. Someone looked at him and was like, he is a handsome devil.
Yeah, so he was back there just being all Dick Hammery.
Yeah, well, imagine this again.
Putting out fires.
You're 6'2", you're built like a Greek god. Your name's Dick Hammer. You're walking around a movie studio. Someone's gonna notice you.
Yeah, you got your fire hat and your suspenders on.
Yeah.
You got probably a dart hanging out of his mouth just because it was, at this time it was the 70s.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And then, so he did find his way in front of the camera. He was in a show called, what they call the show? He was in commercials and print ads, but then they cast him in a 70s show. God, what was the name of that show? I can't remember. Anyway, he was in some stupid show.
Well,
but most importantly,
it kind of makes me think of like Bounty Law, like from Once Upon a Time in L.A. Like a quit. He was in some sort of weird 70s western.
Oh, it was a show called Emergency.
Emergency?
1972 NBA TV hit.
Emergency.
I use that term loosely.
Yeah.
Emergency. But then he becomes the Marlboro man
Yeah.
because for much of the 70s, he was the guy, one of the smoking cowboys in a series of ads on TV and print, and you saw the big billboards and everything.
And let me tell you,
with a dart hanging out of his mouth.
that's a man that looks good smoking a cigarette. I mean, look, I know he died of lung cancer, which is not that's not good, but tell me that wouldn't move some Marlboros.
Why are
Seeing
we
a photo
laughing at
of
that?
Dick Hammer. Well, because it's just so, like, it's just such a cartoonishly, like, masculine life, right? Like, it's ridiculous.
So the LA Times wrote in 1975 that the Marlboro image of Dick Hammer was one of the most viral images in the advertising world.
Yes.
At that time.
Yeah, it worked.
But then he became uncomfortable with it because he didn't want to promote cigarettes.
Yeah.
So he stopped.
Oh.
He had a moral compass.
Look at this. You're telling me I want to smoke
Listen,
a
I've seen
cigarette
him.
right now.
Why do you think I'm talking about him? I've seen Dick Hammer. He's unbelievable.
That mustache alone could sell some cigarettes.
But yes, he succumbed to lung cancer.
Turns out being the Marlboro man, while it is cool, it has some downside to it as well. Not even the great Dick Hammer can beat lung cancer.
Yeah, so his red-haired grandson, Sam Darnold, is playing in the Super Bowl, and I think Dick would be very proud of that.
Can I say
He
though,
died
that,
in 99, by the
Can
way.
I say that Sam Darnold lacks a certain Hammer-like quality about him, though? Like, when I look at Sam Darnold, I don't necessarily see Dick Hammer. Sam Darnold does not make me want to buy cigarettes.
Yeah, he's the millennial version of Dick Hammer. He's got nice, pretty hair.
That's about it.
Nice kid.
Yeah.
But, you know.
He's no Hammer.
All right. Well, let's move on. We're at In the News, aren't we?
We are at In the News.
I have big Lloyd Center news.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen over there?
Yeah, and people aren't happy about it.
I'm going to tell you what's happening
There's
over
like
there.
8 people that want to keep Portland weird, and they're not happy about this.
So we'll get to that coming up next on In the News. But first, here's Steven with Sports Center.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on Fan, Matthew Stafford. He walked away with an MVP last night at the NFL Honors. He received 24 of 50 first-place votes, while second place Drake May, he got 23 of first-place votes. It was actually the closest race since 2003 when Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were co-winners of the award. But more importantly to Rams fans is at the end of Stafford's acceptance speech, he announced he will be returning to the Rams for next season. Cleveland Browns, they are looking for a defensive coordinator as Jim Schwartz has officially resigned today, according to the team. Todd Monken, he got the head coaching job with the Browns. After Jim Schwartz learned that, he was very mad, left the facility, was yelling at people. He will now no longer be with the Cleveland Browns. Pro Football Hall of Fame announced its class for 2026. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, Roger Craig all made it. Of course, we knew Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft did not make it. University of Arizona, they've extended head football coach Brent Brennan for the 2030 season. Trailblazers back on the court tonight hosting the Grizzlies. Denny Advia, questionable. Scoot Henderson expected to make his season debut. He is probable. Blazers on a 5-game losing streak, but are 10.5-point favorites over the Grizz. And Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, expected to be the number 1 overall pick, announced he will not be throwing at the NFL Combine. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Stephen Vaughn from the Georgia Coy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call Georgia Coy at WarrenAllen.com.
earlier in the show. Now it's a festival. But I don't know we're at the crescendo yet. It's just we're now at the official threshold of a festival. We're still heading toward the crescendo, which I'm sure will be all of us dancing on the bar and doing shots of Tullamore Dew or something.
Well, Casey's, we're talking about Casey took his top off, which is, I think, what the people want.
But I tell you something, before we get to the news, is lowercase always ice cold? When you say take the top off, like he has to peel. Every time I see lowercase, he has to peel off 15 layers to take his top off. It's not even worth the time.
It is quite true. Like there is.
Why are you like always? You're just always freezing. He says he's always cold.
Although,
He's always got like a hoodie and then a shirt and then a sweatshirt.
he's a man of the streets, and what I've known about the youth street toughs.
You need to turn your mic on.
What's on? Am I?
It's not neat. God,
Bless America.
Who is running this?
Here's what I know about lowercase. Lowercase is a street punk. He's a man. He's a man of the streets.
I don't think he likes that too
Well,
much.
it's the truth. Look at him. And the thing about the street tough is they will not let weather determine what they wear. It's why you can see a street tough in the dead of summer wearing a parka, or in the middle of winter wearing shorts. So I think lowercase just he dresses by feel, and if he thinks that this outfit works, he'll be damned if he's going to let temperature dictate. Look, he's nodding right now.
Yeah.
This is carefully cultivated. If you can see, everything lines up. And there's always a.
Well, he's got clashing colors though.
Does he?
Well, he's got the yellow. He's got the red Yankee hat.
Yeah, but that's
and
what
the maroon Jordan.
I think he's
vest.
in a red zone here. Yeah. Even though he's a Steeler fan, but he's wearing a red Yankee hat.
Right. Well, lowercase is here. If you'd like to come by and meet him, I'm sure he'll be doing shots of Tullamore Dew without his myriad of shirts on.
Yes.
Later. It is February 6th, 2026. Time now for In the News. I'm your noted newsman. Hello. Thank you so much. It's brought to you by the Advocates, injury attorneys at advocateslaw.com. Please be seated. It is National Wear Red Day. How about that?
Oh, there you go.
Look at lowercase.
I
getting the
am
memo.
wearing green, and since we're out at Kells, I thought that was appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't own a lot of red. Are you? I don't. I find
Not
red,
really.
red's a little bold for me.
Red is bold.
Yeah.
I have a red hat that every time it's from it's a golf hat.
Yeah.
But every time I wear it, people double take it as a MAGA hat.
Ah, yeah. That's the other one
it's
too.
trouble for
yeah,
me.
Be a little careful, especially the way I look. It's a lot of January 6 vibes. I got to be careful with red hats.
It's also Ronald Reagan Day.
Oh, there you go. Big Reagan fan, are you?
Yeah. I liked Reagan.
There you go.
He's good. I mean, he's better than this a-hole we have. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? What?
I think we're getting back to the reverbs here.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, it's official.
Dusty's giving you an interesting stare down over there.
The Lloyd Center Mall will close by the end of the year,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
5 Portlanders are sad about that.
Well, I don't know if you've seen this, but apparently the Lloyd Center has become like a hipster's paradise.
Yeah. No, we've talked about it.
Yeah, it's become so cheap that a lot of people have actually launched brick and mortar stores
Yeah.
inside Lloyd Center because it's like the cheapest place to open up shop
Well,
in
look,
Portland.
It's a very Portland thing.
Yes.
And it's also a very Portland thing to write this story as if anyone other than those 5 shop owners
Yes.
thinks that the Lloyd Center shouldn't be absolutely demolished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look, I get it. You got like a nose ring store in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're getting kicked out, but listen, there is not anyone in Portland that doesn't think we need to blow up Lloyd Center Mall and start over.
Well, there was a movement to try to keep some of like the Lloyd Center, including the skating rink, but the developer said that no, it's all going to go. There are 3 buildings. I think the movie theater, the old Marshalls, which is now like an outdoor school, and there was one other building there. I know apparently that old Marshalls is
Just blow it all up.
well, I guess those are owned by different people, so those get to stay.
All right.
But they're building 14 separate parcels there.
Yes.
And there'll be through streets and there'll be parks and it's a whole thing. And
So it includes park space, walking paths through blocks of houses and businesses. It will feature a 12th Avenue promenade. I know you love a good promenade.
love a good promenade.
And then an open space with fountains called Market Square.
Yeah.
They will not have the year-round ice rink, which has existed there since the mall opened in 1960.
Did you know that was the very first mall skating rink in the country?
It did.
Yeah.
At one point I thought, didn't they say Lloyd Center Mall was like the biggest mall in the U.S.?
That I don't know.
At the time?
But I will tell you this, like 12-year-old me going to the Lloyd Center and hanging out as a street tough,
Yeah, who's the thing?
that was like the highlight of my weekend. Having my mom drop me off at the Lloyd Center and then pick me up at like 10:30 at night, I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So it is kind of
Go
sad.
there
but
now as a street tough, see what happens.
I don't want to get shot. Although I don't know if you get shot anymore, but I do think you can buy like a vegan quesadilla
Right.
and then probably get a handmade like birthday card and then play Magic the Gathering and, like you said, get a nose ring.
What if they just took, like, how many small businesses are in there that are complaining that they're getting booted?
Oh, there's a handful.
How many?
I don't know, 10 to 15 maybe.
Okay, what if you threw them a bone and say, hey, listen, we are about you and we are about small business, and part of our little promenade is going to include 8 spaces for you guys to set up your wares.
See, the problem with that is that I think it cost them about $8 to rent one of those spots, and these people are about to spend billions of dollars developing that.
Throw them a bone, though. They're gonna make money hand over fist on these developments. Throw them a bone.
Yes. Look, it'll be sad when that goes, but having a brand new neighborhood in the middle of the city like that, where you're not going to buy meth and get shot, that will actually be a really cool part of the city.
Exactly. Hopefully. Now, I was thinking about this today because I was thinking about the South Waterfront, where they're talking about building a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
And that area, while built up, and there's a ton of action down there because, the tram and the OHSU's down there.
Yeah.
They haven't really made that very cool.
No.
It's like not, I don't know, there's something missing about it.
Yeah.
It's not, because they originally talked about, and it's not done yet. I'm sure there's other things that will be going in down there, but it hasn't really popped off as a place to go.
Yeah.
So hopefully they don't make that mistake with this, because that is a very meaty part of town that I think could attract a lot of people.
Well, I think the idea of why the city wanted the baseball stadium down there was the idea of, if you built a baseball stadium, or in case, let's just say this, right? A big shopping, residential, all that. And then, Phil Knight's trying to do that Albania neighborhood, which is just the other side of Moda Center. And then if you kind of connect those things and you actually get some stuff to do around Moda Center, and then you get some stuff done by the new Lloyd Center, that you can kind of connect that and you can make this really cool new area right in the middle of town, which right now, that's smack dab in the middle of our city, and it's really not a place that anyone wants to go. I mean, what is there to do if it's not a Blazer game or a concert outside of Moda Center? What is there to do between the Lloyd Center and Moda?
Well, there used to be a Kachina over there. What is it, Jack Ramsey's or something?
Yeah, whatever that is.
Is that still in there?
I think it's only open like on game days. I mean, there is nothing.
I could go stand in front of the Rip City sign.
The sign,
yeah,
yes.
Get a picture.
I think you can walk to a Denny's or a Red Robin.
I
perhaps.
could ride the Max train.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Well, you asked.
So, yes, I think
there's a Denny's.
That area there getting developed around the convention center and that whole stretch, that would be amazing.
Yeah, you think they'll pull it off? We'll see. I've got big Lake Oswego versus. Well, it's a Lake Oswego theater versus Amazon.
Yeah, I saw this.
Got big news here.
Yes. By the way, if I said Albania, is it Albina? That's the neighborhood.
Albina.
It's
You
not
said Albania.
It's not Albania. We're not trying to recreate Albania. Yeah,
I think you should create the Albania.
the
district.
Albanian district.
What would you put in there?
Isn't it Albina? Is that the neighborhood?
Albina.
Albina.
Yes.
That's the neighborhood that they're trying to redo. Hey, what's wrong with Little Albania? Right?
I can't wait to see your plans.
Let's do two. Get some. I got ideas for the development.
All right, we'll get to this big Lake Oswego news coming up next. This is In the News on The Fan. All right, we're back, and we have time for one more story for you here on In the News for Feb 6, 2026. A local independent movie theater in Lake Oswego says Amazon is upset at the way they marketed the new Melania movie. And Jason, they have pulled the screening.
Oh, no.
You will not be able to see Melania.
Did you see that it turned out to be a good thing for the movie theater, though?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, apparently no one went to see it, and they were complaining that he was showing it in the first place.
This was originally reported by the Lake Oswego Review. The Lake Theater and Cafe posted on social media this week saying the higher-ups at Amazon were upset at how they marketed the film, which is focused on First Lady Melania Trump.
I'm sure it's a stunning film.
They were mad at what they said on the marquee. Here's what they said. You tell me if this is crossing the line, Jason. The Lake Theater and Cafe is known locally for crafting witty, creative descriptions of movies on their marquee. For this movie, it read, "Does Melania wear Prada? Find out Friday." And to defeat your enemy, you must know them. Melania starts Friday. Quoting The Art of War.
I love that someone from Amazon got wind of a theater in Lake Oswego and decided to make a thing of that.
Yes.
I mean, my God.
Well, they're at least I think they just desperately need. No, nobody is seeing this movie.
No.
So I think they just need some publicity.
But there are it's a whole thing. If you think that movie got made because people needed to hear that story, then I got some lakefront property in, I guess oceanfront property in Arizona that I would love to sell you. But hey, it's a good gig if you can get it, right? $75 million bucks.
So the theater owner, Jordan Perry, said, and this is a post on the theater's website, he said that his instinct was that running of the movie at their anti-establishment, occasionally troublemaking theater would be funny.
Yeah.
He said, I mean, it just seems so weird that it even exists. Like, who wants a movie about Melania? LOL. So he doubled down.
You see it has a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way?
Yeah. It's out there, right?
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah. I don't know why why would you watch? Why would you watch that?
You haven't seen what's happening?
Well, of course.
So you have like entire groups that are buying up theaters and tickets and not going to it to try to give the illusion that anyone's watching.
Well, I know. I just like, why would anyone watch it? Like, I mean, they thought that would be popular?
No.
Like,
it was a reason to give someone $75 million.
Oh, that's how this works now, huh?
I mean, if you had the ability to get someone to give you $75 million to make a movie about your wife that no one wanted, wouldn't you do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
75 million?
75 million.
I'd probably hold out for 100 million, but yeah.
Might be a Curry favor, perhaps. But yeah, he said he got so many complaints that the movie was even being shown there that he was actually grateful when Amazon said that he couldn't show it.
He didn't care.
No one cares.
No one does
Again,
care.
it's got 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fantastic. That is In the News for February 6, 2026. And as always, it is brought to you by the Advocates Injury Attorneys at advocateslaw.com.
It's up to 8%.
Hey, nice.
It's gaining traction.
What is the worst rating ever on Rotten Tomatoes?
When this came out, it was breaking records. But it's got a 99% popcorn score, by the way.
Fantastic. Anyway, coming up next, we got headlines. We got some NFL awards from last night, some coaching moves as well. And then we'll go back into the Super Bowl. We also got Joey Harrington coming up at 5:30. And that is all next hour here on 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Matthew Stafford came away with the NFL MVP last night at the NFL Honors, just squeaking by Patriots quarterback Drake May. Stafford received 24 of 50 first-place votes, while Drake May got 23 first-place votes. It was the closest race, and Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were co-winners of the award back in 2003. But more importantly for Rams fans and Sean McVay is in Stafford's acceptance speech, he announced he will be returning to the Rams for next season. Someone that won't be returning is Jim Schwartz. He was the Browns defensive coordinator. He has resigned from his position, the team announced today. Schwartz was passed over by Todd Monken for the head coaching gig, and when that happened, he left the facility and never came back. He will now no longer be with the Cleveland Browns. Pro Football announced its Hall of Fame class of 2026. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig all made it. Of course, we knew Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft were not going to make it. University of Arizona, they have extended head football coach Brent Brennan through the 2030 season. Trailblazers on the court tonight hosting the Grizzlies. Denny Avdia questionable. Scoot Henderson expected to make his season debut. He is probable. Blazers on a 5-game losing streak but are 10.5-point favorites at home over the Grizz. And projected #1 overall pick in the NFL draft, Fernando Mendoza announced he will not be throwing at the NFL Combine. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Stephen Vaughn from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a nice little Friday. It is your Sportsman. My name is Isaac. And right over there is Big Souk. Look at him.
Right here.
Jason Sukanik. We've got Vaughn Control, LaVon James back in the studio. They never let him out of the cage, the poor fella.
No.
We've got Joey Harrington coming up at 5:30, although I don't know how the hell we're going to hear him.
Yeah, it's a little loud in here. The audio portion of today's program has been a little spotty.
Well, it's a road game for us.
Yes,
and
it's tough conditions.
We're playing. Yeah, the crowd's loud, and we're having to fight the battle at the free throw line.
It's hard to audible right now.
They're not all home games for us,
No.
so we're doing the best we can here. We are at Kells, the brewery, not down on 2nd. We're at Kells Brewery, which
21st.
is on 21st Avenue in Northwest. We're here courtesy of Tullamore Dew, and they're doing a football festival, and that's what we're doing. We're having a festival here. So.
Getting ready for that super big game coming up on Sunday.
By the way, if you come here, you can enter to win tickets to the Kells Portland Irish Festival.
Yes.
Which is the big St. Paddy's Day celebration. And they just handed us a delightful drink called the, what was that, an Irish Mule?
It's an Irish Mule. It's like an Irish Mule highball.
Absolutely delightful.
Yes.
So listen, the festival is underway. Get your ass down here, damn it. We're drinking and having a good time.
Everyone else is here. Our entire office is here, including the Little General has just rolled in.
Yeah, the Little General. You want to meet the Little General?
No.
He is out and about. He's a man among people. But
there he is.
There he is.
Yeah, we're finger pointing at this point.
He's actually listening.
Yeah.
Not that. Pounding his beers.
No. All hell's breaking loose.
He'll have 4 or 5 and then roll home to the wife. Unhappy wife, you know.
Roll home in the mood for love.
Well, anyway, Joey Harrington coming up 5:30. This will be the final Football Friday edition of our Joey Harrington visits. We'll talk to him about the anatomy of the Sam Darnold turnaround. Coming up tonight in the club.
By the way, Joey did say last week it's the only time he will ever root for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. Yeah, he says he's. We talked about that too. Because I think you were maybe gone the week before or something, or I don't know. I remember talking to him without you about Darnold, and he did say,
It's like the one time he'll let himself do it.
yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's not like you can root for the Patriots.
No.
Like, who the hell wants to
He
root for
hates
them?
Seattle, though. I mean, they lit up the Morrison or the Broadway. They lit up one of the bridges with Seahawks colors, and Portlanders are getting real pissy about it.
Yeah.
They
It's
get-
not
they
a Seahawks town.
They get real bristly when you try to do the.
Well, listen.
We're the there's Seahawks fans down here.
There are a lot of Seahawks fans down here. That is true. Okay. By proxy. But this is not a Seahawks town.
No.
It's not.
No.
I'll go to my grave with that one.
Yes.
Okay. So let's change the colors to what?
Well, what else?
I don't know.
What
The
else?
Bangers.
I don't
Bangers.
think the Bangers are playing right now.
Who cares?
People are not happy that
Love the
the
Bangers.
bridge is
I
the
get
bridge
it.
is blue and green.
I get it. That's a Seattle bit.
Yeah.
We also will talk about the great Super Bowl divide, which I think is the best game within the game this weekend, and that is Bad Bunny versus MAGA.
Oh gosh, dude, that thing's. They got their own counter programming, and
It's fantastic.
that's a whole thing.
A couple of headlines. We got the the NFL awards were last night,
Yeah.
and the MVP did go to Matt Stafford, although it was very close.
Sam Monson could have been the guy that tipped it,
Yeah.
and I like Sam Monson. I think he does a really good, nice job. But he's the one guy. He voted for Justin Herbert, and he came out and defended it.
Well,
and he
his
goes,
first place vote
his
was
first
for
place,
Justin
yes.
Herbert. Yeah. So the reason Stafford was able to eke it out over Drake May, the voting went 366 to 361, and the difference is that 3 first place votes May did not get. 2 of them went to Josh Allen, and 1 of them went to Justin Herbert. And Monson said he was the Herbert guy. He came right out on Twitter and said,
"Yes, I'll defend it."
he
Which,
said-
by the way, I appreciate.
Yeah, and
Own it.
exactly. He said worst offensive line in the NFL, yet Herbert worked miracles every game. And then he said Stafford's offensive line became 2/5 as bad as Herbert's for 5 minutes, and he turned into a turnover howitzer,
Yeah.
which is a little. I mean, that's
It's a bit
that's
much.
a little much.
Yeah.
But that's why Stafford won MVP. His first, by the way.
Yes.
Other winners, Coach of the Year was Mike Vrabel. JSN won Offensive Player of the Year, as he should.
Did you see the stupid Drewski guy?
Drewski. Who is Drewski?
So Drewski's a YouTube. I was gonna play the audio, but because we're having a situation here, it's hard to hear. So Drewski's he's like a YouTuber. He does.
Aren't we all?
He's a internet celebrity. So he presented the award for AP Player of the Year, and he made JSN's name a bit, including using a racial slur. It bothered me. It was pretty problematic.
Wow.
Because obviously JSN
I
couldn't.
wonder where he's getting his cues.
Well, and then at first I was like, okay, did he just butcher the name a la Megan Rapinoe? And then I was like, was he leaning into this? And he screwed it up once and he did a bit. But, I mean, that's a great award for Jackson Smith and Jigba. And it's not that hard of a name to say. And to pronounce it 4 different ways and keep butchering it, including one of them using a racial slur, I thought it was in really poor taste for an award that's pretty prestigious. And then the lady that announced Mike Vrabel, she couldn't pronounce his name either. She butchered his name. It was not a good night for presenters at the NFL Awards.
Well, maybe Mike Vrabel should get an easier to pronounce name. You ever think of that?
It's not but I don't know. It was definitely a Roger Goodell sort of moment.
Well, it is amazing when you go to award shows how often people presenting to other people can't pronounce that person's name.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
Mariota.
Well, you're
When you know he's going to be the first pick.
he's going to
or
win.
the second pick.
And again, I would say Jackson Smith and Jigba isn't that hard a name. It's just not.
Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett.
Yeah. Unanimous, by the way.
Comeback Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. Ted McMillan won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Schlesinger from the Browns.
Yeah.
By the way, their defensive coordinator stepped down today. Jim Schwartz is out of there.
So he's still under contract, so he's probably going to have to sit out this year. It doesn't sound like they're going to release him, but he basically said F you and will probably sit out and then be one of the more coveted guys next year.
He's a good defensive coordinator.
Yes, he is. He wanted the job, and what's weird is Cleveland kind of left him on the dangle, and it kind of screwed up their search because a lot of people didn't want to be married to Schwartz, and they ended up losing him anyway. So Cleveland, in a shocking development, can't do anything right.
Cliff Kingsbury has left Washington, and he is headed to the Rams. But they didn't say in what capacity, but soon he
You would assume.
replaces Michael LaFleur.
Yeah, who took the job down in Arizona.
And Hall of Fame quarterback Sonny Jurgensen has died
Yeah.
at the age of 91.
And like I don't know a lot about. I mean, obviously I wasn't around in the heyday of old Sonny. But when you watch clips of him, people say he was kind of the first.
Yeah, he slung it.
He slung it. They said
Well,
he
he's
was.
passed for over 3,000 yards a couple times.
Yeah, back in the day when it wasn't a thing, and people that saw him play claim that he is one of the truly great throwers of the football of all time, and was way ahead of his time. And you watch some of his highlights, dude, that guy could sling it.
All right, coming up next, how Drake May can make history on Sunday, and I've got a couple of big hot Super Bowl bets that are big ones that are out there we want to talk about. And then we'll get Joey Harrington in here at 5:30. We are down here at Kel's Brewery on 21st, courtesy of Tullamore Dew, and it's tailgate time. It's totally time. This show is also brought to you by Video Only, who summons you to purchase a new top-rated TV from Video Only. We'll be right back here on 105.1 The Fan. Yes, we are at Kells on 21st. So Drake May could become the youngest quarterback to win the Super Bowl ever
How old is Drake May?
if the Patriots win this. Why don't you take a guess, sports guy?
Second year, left college early. I'm going 23.
He is indeed 23. He doesn't turn 24 until August.
Huh.
So that would make him, if he wins, that would make him the youngest quarterback ever to win it. Currently, Ben Roethlisberger is the only quarterback to have won under the age of 24.
That was his, I think, second year, right, that he won in Pittsburgh?
Roethlisberger was 23, but he was closer to his birthday than Drake May is. And May is also the youngest to start the Super Bowl since Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Because Dan Marino is actually even younger.
Yeah, 23.
He was 23 in several months.
127 days.
But,
well,
yeah.
it is weird because we always hear that, you know, the easiest way to win a Super Bowl nowadays is to have a rookie quarterback or a quarterback in their first 5 years, but maybe not necessarily that first or second year. Because Mahomes, third year he won it? But I also think he may have stayed at Texas Tech a little bit longer. But yeah, I mean that is the trend in the NFL to capitalize on the window of you get 5 years of very cost-controlled quarterback play in the NFL on a rookie deal.
Oh, I forgot about Mike Tomczak.
Mike Tomczak?
Yeah, he was 23 as well.
He didn't win. Who did Mike?
Oh no, yeah, they didn't win, did
I was
they?
gonna say, who did Mike Tomczak start? You're talking about the Bears?
Yeah, he was with the Bears.
But he didn't.
No, they won. Yeah. Tomczak won.
Who did Tomczak?
Bears Patriot?
Yeah, but he didn't start. That was Jim McMahon.
Well, but it says Mike Tomczak is the youngest quarterback in a win in a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Tomczak would have been,
Yeah.
if anything, he was the
He was
backup.
just a backup. So it was Roethlisberger and could be Drake May.
Huh.
What if New England wins this game as ugly as they've won the other playoff games?
Well, again,
What do we make of Drake May in New England's title?
Nothing, because talking heads are dumbasses. The national discourse is so maddening at times. I mean, today I had to listen to, the ESPN folks now saying that, Matthew Stafford's a top 10 quarterback because he won an MVP, and you're like, my God. It's just, it's infuriating the way we deal with these sorts of things. So what do we make of Drake May? If they win and Drake May has another muddled performance, let's say they win this thing 17-10, and Drake May throws one touchdown, he has 2 picks, and he throws for 125 yards. What do we make of Drake May? The same thing we should have made him all year. He's a really good young quarterback.
No, I just mean I don't know. What I was getting at was, I think it's a huge deal. If May wins this, I just feel like we're going to be talking about the Patriots like, oh my God.
Yes, here comes another one.
Here it comes,
Yes.
because we love Vrabel, and
Yes.
May's only 23. It's
Yes.
like, oh boy.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if they slug their way through it, like, what a weird title. Like,
Yeah.
if May doesn't come out and sling it around, and they win like they won in
These last 3
maybe
weeks.
not Denver, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. He has not been good in the playoffs, period, end of story.
Yeah, it's just like, it's the weirdest title ever.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, take nothing away from him. It's just, I don't know. I just want to see more out of Drake May in this game.
It is really weird in that, and this is why I wish there's some nuance, but we never get nuance from the discourse behind this. But Drake May has had a really nice year against one of the softest schedules we have ever seen. He's been dreadful the last couple weeks of the regular season. He's been not good in the playoffs, and yet here they are. But make no mistake about it, they are where they're at right now, at least in the postseason, because of their defense, not because of Drake May. And even if Drake May comes out and plays a great Super Bowl, right? That doesn't mean that Drake May all of a sudden is Tom Brady or he's the next.
He's going to be talked about.
He's going to be talked about it. The truth of the matter is that Drake May, of those young quarterbacks, looks like he has all the potential in order to be one of those guys. But far too often we throw people out and we crown them. Again, I go back to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts won that Super Bowl, and we wanted to crown Jalen Hurts. And now you're having to take a step back and be like, what happened to Jalen Hurts? Nothing. He's the same player. And so just like I said with Sam Darnold, regardless of what Sam Darnold does in this game, it shouldn't change. They may change a narrative, but it won't change who Sam Darnold is. And this shouldn't change or speed up the process of Drake May. Drake May has the potential to be a really, really good quarterback for a long time in this league. And I think New England, because this team is so young and is probably a year or two ahead of where it really wanted to be, regardless of the outcome, New England is set up to be better. Like, this is almost like what Oregon was this year. Like, they've sped up the process. The next year or two, or even 3 for New England, should be better versions of this team. It just so happens that because of the schedule, Drake May's play, and probably some good fortune with the teams he played in the postseason, this has been sped up for New England. But this will not be Drake May's best team. And if they do fall short, and most people think they will, I would still feel pretty good about New England eventually getting back here. This doesn't feel like, remember when Atlanta made one with Matt Ryan, or, Cam Newton made one, Jake Delhomme made one, Warner got to one in Arizona. Those definitely felt like kind of one-offs. This New England, I don't necessarily feels like a one-off. This just kind of feels like a young team building towards something. But we probably said that about Cincinnati and Joe Burrow too, and he's never been back. He's never sniffed it. So you do have to take advantage of the opportunity, but I think if you're New England, you feel very good about the core of this team, your head coach, the culture, and where your quarterback is going to go and continue to grow and get better.
Somebody at Circa in Vegas, which is one of the big sports books out there. That's the one with the big stadium swim, you know.
Where you lay in the pool and gamble.
Yeah, watch the big screen.
That does actually kind of sound cool, but
up on the roof.
I bet you that's quite expensive.
I don't think it is expensive,
no?
But I also don't think it's quite as cool as you might think.
Gets sort of lame once you're in there.
In that
someone next to you is like peeing on you while you're gambling.
That gross bro soup. No thanks. Somebody at Circa placed a $100 bet in the preseason on the exact Super Bowl result, and they have New England winning. And it would pay them over $300,000.
Off a $100 bet?
$100 at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And this is one of the most improbable Super Bowls ever
100%.
in terms of preseason odds, as we've talked about. But yes, somebody said Seahawks-Patriots with New England winning, and if that hits, they will cash over $300,000.
I wonder, did you see, the whole NFL is scripted thing? Which, by the way, that's a real. I did not realize that there are real, sane, rational people that believe that. I encountered a group of those at a golf course. Granted, they had been drinking. They were not gonna get off that hill. They believed that the NFL is rigged. And I was like,
is it the photo of Darnold and May being up front in the? There's a photo of all the quarterbacks in the NFL. It was put out in the preseason. And Darnold and May happened to be the two up front, staring at the Super Bowl 60 logo.
And so all of a sudden,
and that's real. I thought it was fake.
No, that's a real thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they just put out. It was just a promo thing, and I think, and it's not all quarterbacks. It's like each team got a player.
Oh, okay.
Like Christian McCaffrey's in the back, so a lot of the well-known players are closer. They're behind you. You can see them better. But the fact that Seattle and New England, they weren't favorites. It just so happened that their two players were kind of up front. But again, I had to listen to people literally use that as a real thing. You don't think the NFL's rigged? You don't think they have a hand in this? Like, why on earth would they want Drake May and Sam Darnold? Why? If the NFL had to write a script, this isn't the script that they would write.
Hey, totally.
But there are people that believe that, mainly because they keep losing their bets. And they, yeah.
Well, I mean, look, there are some things that happen that would lead you down that path, but
they got one of these.
The more discerning individual would not.
They're like, how does Vegas always know that it's right? Like the over/under, and it always lands right there. I'm like, is it possible that Vegas is really good at it? No, has to be rigged. Has to be rigged.
In other betting news, Circa also took a $1.1 million bet on New England money line. That's pretty ballsy.
That is very ballsy.
Plus 188 to win $2.1 million.
Although if you got $1 million to bet, whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
That's that's Mattress Mac stuff.
Well, Mattress Mac is in. He has a.
Oh, is he back?
Yes, he has a Well, he does every big game. The man never misses an opportunity.
Yeah, to promote something.
He's in with a $2 million bet to win $4 million on the AFC to win the Super Bowl, and he placed his bet at Caesars.
So he did that?
So he must have done that.
He must have earlier.
Prior.
Yeah.
There was also the personal injury attorney Dan Newland in Florida who bet $1 million on Seattle minus 230 So he would win a little over $435,000. And he is saying that is for pediatric cancer research.
Okay.
So his bet was placed at the Florida Hard Rock. He says he's a winner, so he will not lose for the kids.
I would be inclined if you had to have and this is not one that I feel uber good about, but if you were to put the proverbial sports gun, I would take Seattle in the under. I do think this is going to be. I think both teams are going to play this close to their vest, and I think this is going to be a game where early on both teams are conservative. They feel it out, rely on defense. But I just think Seattle has more avenues. I think they're a better team. I don't like the way Drake May's playing right now, and I think special teams, Seattle's just better too. So I just think there's too many things to me that favor Seattle. So I like this a low-scoring affair. So I'll take Seattle and I'll take the under. This has, I think this is 17-13, 19-14, something like that.
Well, we know Joey Harrington's not a betting man, so we won't ask him about that. We have tied up his money for something else.
Yes.
We need him to buy Music Millennium.
Yeah, we're going to bully him. It can't cost that much, can it?
No.
Well,
And he's a Portland guy.
He's a Portland guy. It's a civic duty. Keep Portland weird. Let's go.
Yeah, and we have a little dangling carrot for him that may help sweeten the offer.
Yeah, we like this.
So we're gonna convince Joey to buy Music Millennium, and we'll talk to him about Sam Darnold and the Super Bowl as well when we come back here on the final Football Friday of this football season. But first, let's go to Von Control, the Sports Center.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Matthew Stafford walked away with the MVP award last night at the NFL Honors. Stafford just squeaked out from Drake May, who got second place. Stafford 24 of the 51st place votes, while Drake May 23 of the 51st place votes. It was the closest races. Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were co-winners back in 2003. But for the Rams and Sean McVay, what was more important in Matthew Stafford's acceptance speech, he announced he will be returning to the Rams next season. Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz has resigned today, the team announced, after he missed out on the bid to be the head coaching gig, and he was passed up by Todd Monken for that head coaching job. He left the facility after that happened, was very mad, very angry about it, and now he will no longer be with the Cleveland Browns. Pro Football Hall of Fame, they announced their class of 2026. It'll be Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig. Of course, we knew Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft were not going to make it. University of Arizona, they have extended head football coach Brent Brennan through the 2030 season. Trailblazers hosting the Grizzlies tonight. Denny Advia, questionable. Scoot Henderson expected to play season debut and is probable. Blazers on a 5-game losing streak, but 10.5-point favorites over the Grizz. And projected number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, Fernando Mendoza. He announced today he will not be throwing at the NFL Combine. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Stephen Vaughn from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Fan. We're on both 105.1 and 1080 The Fan. Part of the Fan's Global Sports Radio Network.
All right, back live here at Kells on 21st. It is time for our final Football Friday with our friend Joey Harrington, whom I assume we'll be able to hear, but I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Let's see. Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
I could play along and pretend I don't, but then it would just like screw everything up. So yeah, I do.
Okay.
And I love hearing your voices.
Oh, I love hearing your voice.
Yes.
Sue doesn't as much, but I do. Listen, we're doing shots of Irish whiskey, so things are getting wild.
Yeah.
And we have a proposition for you.
Wait, hold on. You're doing shots of Irish whiskey and you didn't invite me? Like this is nearly green couch invite-esque non-inviting syndrome. Like this is a reversal of the non-green couch, and I'm not getting the whiskey invite.
Well, our pitch would be better if you were in person. And I will say, I'm going to throw LaVon James under the bus here.
Yeah.
I did ask LaVon when he checked in with you about today's interview. I'm like, hey, see if he can come down. If he can't come down, we'll do it on the phone.
Yeah.
You know.
Our pitch is not off to a good start right now. I'm just saying.
No, but listen. Forget all that.
I'm so confused. What happened to LeBron?
Okay. Just listen.
Things are going great.
I can barely hear you, but I can hear you enough to make this pitch. And it is that because you are a quintessential Portlander,
yes,
you are the man. You're like the Portland guy on the Portland ads and everything. You're like Mr. Portland. We believe you should buy Music Millennium.
Oh, is it for sale?
Yes.
Yeah, it is for sale. And here's the best thing we can throw at you. Here's our offer to you. This is an offer you can't refuse.
No.
The guy who's selling it is buddies with our dear friend Greg Glover, who you hear on 94.7 and 92.3.
Yeah.
He's a music legend in this town. He could run it for you.
Yes. He's the sort of man that needs to run that store.
And would love to.
But we need the backing of a true Portlander with deep pockets and great hair, a.k.a. you.
What do you think?
What do I think? I think I grew up about 6 blocks from Music Millennium, and so that was like, we would walk down there. That's where I got my first AC/DC tape.
There you go.
Perfect.
God, I didn't know it was for sale. And at the same time, while there is nostalgia and like, is it really a sound business investment right now to be, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Dunder Mifflin. Limitless paper in a paperless world.
Right.
Now,
Does it make sense to buy a music store when you can get everything online?
Well, now let me push back a little bit because the man who's selling it is Terry, I believe is his name?
Terry, yeah.
Terry, the Tear Bear. He's owned it since 1984. He did say last year the best year that they've had. The vinyl is back. The people of Portland have spoken. They want the analog copies. They want the physical. They want the physical music.
All right, send me the business plan. Send me the see what we got, and we'll pass it on to the financial guys and see what we come back with.
I love this.
Yes, this is like when Paul Allen bought the Seahawks out of civic duty to keep them there. This is you being Paul Allen on a much smaller scale, making sure Music Millennium stays in. Keep Portland weird.
Did you just compare me to something that has to do with the Seahawks? Because I'm not sure that's actually going to work.
Wow, I do rats.
Come on, you're ruining our
well,
pitch.
he owns the Blazers too. The Blazers. He saved the Blazers.
Oh, okay, and he said the Blazers. Say the Blazers. Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
I mean, seriously.
But I was also giving you a segue to the Seahawks and like Football Friday. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't think Music Millennium will cost that much.
No.
So, listen,
it is a record store. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Come on.
I'm not going to say it's a used Hyundai, but I'm guessing it's.
It's a fun side project.
I'm guessing we don't have to scrape together too much. I think you might be able to scrounge up for the green couch.
I'm going to throw something else in. We'll come down and do live shows from down there.
Yes, for free.
Yeah, for free.
Is that a positive or a negative? Is that a promise or a threat?
Well, that is true because that record store hipster culture, they may not like the sports bros.
Oh yeah,
That-
sports.
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like Pharma Bros coming down, and yeah,
Yeah, it could be problematic.
So I was told by Big
Souk
Sue.
isn't goth enough.
No. Now what? I need to have more like childhood trauma and more guy liner, but
Just
I'll work on
put
it.
a big loop in your ear.
Yeah, I can do that.
What do they call those things?
Gauges.
Yeah, put a gauge in there. So Souk was telling me that you are rooting for the Seahawks, and this would be the only acceptable way for you to root for the Seahawks, and that is because of Sam Darnold. Is this confirmed?
No. Let's clarify. I'm not rooting for the Seahawks.
Ah, okay.
I am rooting for Sam Darnold.
Okay.
That's rooting for the
And-
Seahawks. It's semantics. You're rooting for the Seahawks.
No,
Admit it.
I'm not. I'm rooting for Sam Darnold to have an incredible game and win to validate all of us top 10 quarterbacks who got our teeth kicked in for 4 years, and then they got traded to some hellhole where nothing was going to work, and then they got cast off and thought that we could find our footing, but never did, except he did. He did it. He did what all of us tried to do. He did what, literally go down for decades of Keith Schulers and David Carrs and Joey Harrington and like all of us who didn't pan out. He is like he is the GOAT of ungoats. And I am pulling for him with every ounce of my being, and therefore, if he wins, that by default means the Seahawks win.
Will you wear a Sam Darnold jersey if it's a Seahawks Sam Darnold jersey?
No. I'd wear a Niners Sam Darnold jersey. I'd wear a Carolina Panthers Sam Darnold
There you
jersey.
go.
Actually, the probably most. You know what? I would stick with the Jets because that's where he had the most trauma, right? And so to see him come from the depths from the Jets, that's the one to wear.
Now, would you wear the Sam Darnold jersey and bike across the Morrison Bridge that is currently lit up in Seahawk colors?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they lit up the Morrison Bridge in Seahawk colors, and people aren't happy about it.
That's dumb.
It is dumb.
It's blue and green right now, and it's
Listen.
getting a lot of blowback.
Joey will agree with me. This is not a Seahawks town, correct?
The bridge says
Correct.
otherwise.
This is Portland.
That's right.
If you're an Oregon or Oregon State fan, do you root for the Huskies? No. If you're a Blazer fan, did you root for the Sonics? No. If you're a Timber fan, do you root for the Sounders? No. I don't care. I don't care. Like you just don't do it. And I don't know. In this moment, because it tugs at the heartstrings and my experience, and Sam is such an incredible guy that I will root for him, that I have to like shove it down and by default root for the Seahawks. But no, I'm sorry. We are not 12. We are not Seattle. We are not Queen Anne. We are not Bellevue. We're not even Tacoma. Like, I'm sorry. This is not our
Hallelujah.
team.
Hallelujah. Thank you. You don't take it from me, take it from Joey. Mr. Portland.
He is still rooting for Sam Darnold, though, and I will never let him forget that. And again, via proxy, he's rooting for the Seahawks. It's the only time that it will ever happen, but I will not let him forget it.
All right.
No, actually, I think there is a way that Sam Darnold could win and the Seahawks could lose. I'll think
Yeah.
about it during the break, but
I think
it could
that's
happen.
right. I think that's right.
What if they, because a couple years ago in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, the Oilers lost, but Connor McDavid was the MVP. So what if that happened and the Seahawks lost, but Sam Darnold was the MVP because he threw like 5 touchdowns?
Ooh.
Oh my God, you just hit it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
I hope Darnold wins the MVP and the Seahawks lose.
I don't think that's going to happen, though.
It could.
It's happened before.
Who was it? I think it's happened one time. Was it a Dallas Cowboy? It was like back in the 60s or 70s. But there was a Super Bowl MVP that was on a losing team, and I know it happened I think it happened in hockey. I don't know if it's ever happened in basketball.
But that's not very common. Here's one for you. What if Sam Darnold just drives the Seahawks down for the game-winning score or the game-tying score, and they go for 2, and they run it and get stuffed?
Fumble.
Well, but not Darnold fumble.
No.
So Darnold is the
Kenneth
hero.
Walker fumble.
He drove him down, and then Kenneth Walker trips, and
Like going in.
and we all
Are
laugh at the
we
Seahawks.
are we trying to make up for not for not giving it to Marshawn Lynch the last time they were on the goal
Yes,
line?
yes,
Is that is that the?
So
Yeah, no, that's just too much. No.
someone said, I heard it right when this game was, when we found out this was the matchup. Someone said if there's any sort of like karma justice in this world, it would be for us all to laugh at the idea of Seattle gets to the 1 yard line with a chance to go in, but instead of throwing it, they hand it off and fumble and lose that way. that would be the
That would be
ultimate,
awesome.
if you're a Seahawks fan, the sheer comedy, the tragic nature of that. You get to the 1 yard line, and then it's like an RPO, and there's a wide open guy, but they hand it off instead, and he fumbles at the 1.
No, it can't be an RPO because that means Sam Darnold made a bad decision.
That's
It
true.
has to be a straight handoff.
Straight handoff.
All right, well, let's take a break, and when we come back, I want to ask Joey, is Sam Darnold already vindicated, or must he finish this game off? We'll get to that coming up next with our friend Joey Harrington here on Football Friday. We're at Kells on 21st Avenue in Portland, courtesy of Tullamore Dew. This is The Fan. Indeed, Kel's on 21st. We are back with Joey Harrington, who, breaking news, has just agreed here live on the air to buy Music Millennium, allow Greg Glover to run it, and let us do live shows there.
That does seem to be the major theme of today's program.
Very
Breaking
exciting,
news.
very exciting news. So,
I thought the only way that was happening is if you guys bought the Seahawks. Isn't that the?
Is if what now?
Is if you guys came like partnered together and we bought the Seahawks. Like that was the whole. It was a package deal, right?
Hey, I'm not opposed to buying the Seahawks. I just don't think they're going to like my offer.
Yeah, it's going to go for like $8 billion, and I'm a little short.
Like how much short?
8 billion.
8 billion. about 8 bill. Yeah, I'm a little. It is crazy to think about that the Seattle Seahawks are going to sell for $8 billion.
God, no kidding. Okay. It makes you, so the Sam Darnold thing, it makes you wonder how many Sam Darnolds are out there. You know? Like, I guess the question is like.
Specifically how? What do you mean by that?
Well, it means like.
How many with the right circumstances, they get the coaching, because everyone that's drafted the 3rd overall pick has the physical tools to do it. So he washes out multiple times. You talked about your journey, but he said when he got to San Francisco that year with Kyle Shanahan, that changed everything. And then he goes to Kevin O'Connell, and that changed everything again. And now you end up in this perfect situation with Kubiak and the defense, and he doesn't have to do everything. And so it's the idea of like, is there 15 other guys in the NFL that, given that path, could be where Sam Darnold is?
Potentially. Because here's what, and I can literally speak to this from personal experience, okay? His New York Jets is my Detroit Lions. Expectations are sky high. You're the 3rd overall pick. You're supposed to save the franchise, taking the Super Bowls, end up in the Hall of Fame. That doesn't happen. And not only does that not happen, you get shipped out of town and blamed for, the failures of a franchise. You get traded somewhere that they kind of expect you to maybe, to come and compete for a starting job because you were a starter where you were before. But what's happened is you haven't actually gotten rid of the ghost from the team past. And so you get thrown into a team where they're somewhat decent and could potentially win, but they're not set up to support you in the way that you need. So you end up getting shipped out of there as well. So now you're at the point where you're trying to figure out how to believe in yourself again. And he went to San Francisco, I went to Atlanta. And I said to myself, there's no safer place than going to Atlanta and backing up Michael Vick. I can take a moment, I can catch my breath, I can figure out what's going on in this whole NFL thing, I can figure out how to get things back on track. I'm checking in with, I'm working with Bobby Petrino, who is supposed to be an offensive guru, right? In the same way that Shanahan was that. Well, it turns out Vic went to prison and Petrino was a pile of turd, right? And so my journey was not that. He found himself in the perfect position where he didn't have to play. And he sat and learned, and he had a moment to catch his breath and say, you know what? Oh, this is what it's like. And he had someone who cared about him and take him under his wing and teach him. And from that moment, then it was on him, right? And good on him for turning that around and taking advantage of the opportunities that were given to him. Because let's not forget that had J.J. McCarthy not hurt his knee in the preseason, Sam Darnold wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Right? Sam Darnold wasn't supposed to be the guy in Minnesota. And when JJ went down, everybody thought, myself included, oh great, here's at best a 5-11 season, 5-12, 17 games now. But instead, he won 15 games and earned himself a contract, and now he's in the Super Bowl. So, is it possible? Yeah. Do the stars have to align in that horrible situation? Yeah, because what happens is people don't believe in you. And there's one or two guys, I thought I had it in Sean Payton in New Orleans, and other things, happened that ended up getting me shipped out of there. Sam found that spot and took advantage of the opportunity. So, are there 100 guys out there who could do it? No. Are there 20 guys in the last 10 years who could? Maybe.
Yeah.
Are there 5 to 10 in the NFL right now? I don't think so. But there are a couple.
Because I think about, like, just off the top of my head, like, I think about, like, the guys that were drafted high. You know, Marcus comes to mind. And Marcus has had a decent career, but, you know, has never really been the guy outside of Tennessee, but had some success. Baker Mayfield has kind of become a guy. You know, but I think about just, like, two guys like Jameis Winston would be another one that washed out. But guys like that, I just, you wonder if they would have fallen into a little better circumstance of that Shanahan, O'Connell, and now Seattle, as opposed to being starters on bad teams other places. Like, I do think that there are people like Sam out there. I think that's a good thing. Like what you said, it's not 20, it's not 30, but I do think a lot of that is there's guys out there with the raw skill set that just need the opportunity.
What about Tua?
Yeah, there's one.
Could he be? I mean, you know,
because he's going to get cast aside in Miami.
He will.
I'm curious, but see, it's different though. That's Tua was in Miami for how long?
A while. He got paid. I mean, he played good enough to get the big contract.
Right. This is different. This is Sam getting shipped out in 3 years, and like there's a window where you have to capture that opportunity, right? And there aren't too many people that fall into that window.
Yeah.
So do you think he's already vindicated, or must he win this Super Bowl?
I don't think either. I don't think he's going to be vindicated, because that not only will that always kind of be a narrative, but nobody in the NFL is ever truly, vindicated. Like it is always a day-to-day, game-to-game, week-to-week, season-to-season. If he comes out and and turds the bed next year, it's going to be the same old Sam Darnold, right? You still have to perform week in and week out. And if he goes and wins the Super Bowl, God, I don't know. If he goes and wins the Super Bowl, you get a little bit of leeway.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I was saying. That it's like far too often we use the end result to justify hero worship or you're a bum. And the truth of the matter is there's plenty of quarterbacks that win a Super Bowl, from Joe Flacco to Jalen Hurts to Trent Dilfer to Brad Johnson, that are all good, solid quarterbacks. But winning that game doesn't make them Tom Brady, and losing that game doesn't make them, Tim Couch.
Right. No, I would agree with that. And I think, right or wrong, what's happened up to this point in Sam's career is still going to be a cloud over him when you're talking about how he's viewed in the entirety of his career.
Yeah.
Right? He took a team to the Super Bowl. He did. He played his mind out in that NFC Championship game, was the best player on the field, and if they don't win, people are, I guarantee you, there are still going to be people that compare a Super Bowl this year to the Detroit game and the playoff game last year in Minnesota. Oh, he can't win the big one. He collapses in the big-time moment. Like that, that's just the reality of sports.
You going to a big Super Bowl party?
I am, yeah. It's going to be on the green couch, and it's going to involve some gyros, actually, I think. I'm going to throw a little chicken on the grill with some pita, maybe a little hummus, maybe break out a bottle of bourbon, see how the afternoon goes.
That's a nice little Sunday right there. It's a nice little Super Sunday.
Yeah.
Got to celebrate your purchase of the Music Millennium.
There you go.
Ooh. We might need to explore this on another less background noisy episode.
Well, like, you look good on a billboard. We've already seen that. Why not we recreate that on the side right underneath the Keep Portland Weird sign?
It's all
So
coming
you're
together.
thinking we should recreate the Joey Heisman on the side of Music Millennium. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
Instead of the duck uniform, we'll put you in some Portland hipster gear. And
Yeah, get you some sort
get
of
you
Portland
a tambourine or something, and it'd be great.
We'll speak to the
I
city
will
of Portland.
say, okay, how about this? If we can get Modest Mouse and Colobo back to Music Millennium and do a photo shoot together, then maybe we'll consider it.
Okay.
We know some people.
Hey.
We're gonna get some wheels turning behind the scenes.
This thing has begun.
I like it.
I love
We got
your-
momentum.
He's receptive.
We're rolling here.
And actually, okay, we need now that I said that we need our Elizakis in. Okay, we need some Everclear.
He's around.
I'm trying to think of some other Portland.
What about Modest Mouse, bro? Isaac.
I said Modest Mouse.
said
I
Modest
just
Mouse.
literally
I'm sorry.
just said we
It's
need
very
Modest
hard-
Mouse. We need Colobo.
Okay, it's
Storm
very hard
Large,
to hear
maybe?
you. Storm Large. Me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
You, definitely you.
the songbird of our generation, El Rapo.
Yes. Okay, well, let's explore this on a less noisy episode.
Okay.
Yes.
I love it.
Progress has been made. I'm feeling very
This is
optimistic
great.
right now.
This is great.
Okay, can we just end on a clarification note? Okay, ready?
Yes.
Sure.
I hope Sam Darnold wins the MVP and the Seahawks lose.
Okay. Okay.
That's what. And by the way, yes, it was the Dallas Cowboys. Chuck Howley, the only player in NFL history. He was the Super Bowl MVP, but the Cowboys lost to the Baltimore Colts, 16-13.
Brilliant idea.
There it is.
Duke, it happens. It happens every once in a while, right?
Yes.
The sun shines on a dog's backside every once in a while.
Yeah, 2 years ago it happened in the NHL, so it can happen.
All right. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Enjoy the Tullamore Dew.
Okay. We are. That is Joey Harrington, courtesy of Mods PDX. The future of building is here. And in my defense, we can't hear a damn thing.
No, it's
that is
so loud.
I have to tell you something. I didn't hear him say the Modest Mouse thing.
I
didn't
caught
hear
it.
half of what he said. And I got to tell you, that is some of our finest work. I don't know how that interview sounded out in Radio Land, but for us, we were fighting an uphill battle to even hear a word that man
was
said.
a grind.
So how good are we? I don't know, but we got through it.
I tried I had
God.
one headphone on, one off. I was plugging my finger on one. There was a lot
It's
of different
insane.
efforts.
It's obscene.
And yet somehow we made it. And
did it.
I think we're going to get
I
him to
know.
buy Music Millennium.
Isn't that amazing?
He's into it.
He is into
This
it.
is phenomenal.
God, I love it when a plan comes together.
Look at you, Hannibal. I love it.
So coming up next, let's talk about Bad Bunny versus MAGA.
Oh, boy.
Now this is the game.
This is the
game.
ultimate battle.
That's next in the club on the Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Matthew Stafford was awarded the NFL MVP last night at the NFL Honors. Stafford received 24 of 50 first-place votes, while second place, Drake May, got 23 first-place votes. It was the closest race since Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were co-winners back in 2003, but more importantly for Sean McVay and the Rams, in his acceptance speech, Matthew Stafford said he will be returning to the Rams next season. A guy that will be returning is Jim Schwartz. He resigned as Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator today. He was passed over by Todd Monken for the head coaching gig and was not very happy about it. Once that was announced, he left the facility, not talking to anybody, and now he will no longer be with the Cleveland Browns. Pro Football announced their Hall of Fame class of 2026. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig make out the class. Well, of course, we knew Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft did not make it. University of Arizona has extended head football coach Brent Brennan through the 2030 season. Trailblazers hosting the Grizzlies tonight. Denny Advia out. Scoot Henderson is in. He will make his season debut. Blazers on a 5-game losing streak are 8.5-point favorites over the Memphis Grizzlies. A projected number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft in Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza announced that he will not be throwing at the NFL Combine. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Stephen Vaughn from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Hoo-wee.
All right, pleased to have you along for a Friday night club sesh. We're here at Kells, where it is a officially a football festival.
Yeah, we don't even have to play the background music because, well, we're here.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to see what the real life club looks like, come out to Kells on 21st. Swing on by and say hi.
Yeah, it sounds like we're always in a bar.
Yeah.
For the club.
Yeah.
But we're not.
No.
It's radio cosplay.
And I don't know why, but this has been the loudest. it's been the loudest on-site show we've ever done.
This is the toughest road game we've ever done.
Yes.
It is really loud.
Yeah. This is now we know what it's like going to play in Seattle against
tough.
the 12s.
We're calling audibles. Joey can't hear.
And yet somehow we got Joey to agree to buy Music Millennium.
Yeah. Well, listen, the game within the game on Sunday, although, can I once again state, it's 3 hours and 10 minutes into the show. I've yet to say it.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl needs to be on an effing Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, this is bullshit.
That way we get
Why do we keep...
Or make the Monday a national holiday.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. So just put it on a Saturday.
But if you bumped it a week...
Yeah, then you could...
Because next... Yeah. Not this Monday, but the Monday after that is President's Day.
That's
and
true.
Then you get the day off.
That's true. You could do that.
Just bump it a week.
Yeah, but then you got 3 weeks in between the championship games and the Super Bowl.
No, you just slide everything, you just push everything 1 week and you're good to go. Quit making it harder than it needs to be.
Well, that is a solution. I don't think it's hard to move it to a Saturday.
That it's not
That's the easiest.
It's not Super Bowl Sunday.
So what? Nobody's going to work on Monday. Do you know, I was reading an article that said You know how many people, how many U.S. workers will not show up to their job on Monday?
Oh, I bet it's a staggering number.
So what do we have, like 350 million people?
Yeah, I want to say it's like 330, 350 and change, something like that.
Take a guess.
Well, I mean, not every one of those people is working,
Correct.
obviously. So
That's correct.
So if you take an adult force, let's say, I
Take
don't
out
know.
the stupid kids.
Well, let's say, I don't know, you got like 150 million workers. I don't know, you got like maybe 2-3 million that don't show up?
27 million.
That seems like a lot. How are
Move
those
it.
people not fired?
Well, they're sick. Move it to a Saturday, for heaven's sake. It's about time.
I will appreciate anyone that has the balls to call in on Super Bowl Monday and do the I don't feel well. Like, that's a ballsy move. I mean, maybe you don't care about your job or you're secure enough, but
Yeah.
if I was a boss, I could definitely see the frustration of, seriously, you happen to get sick the Monday after the
Well,
Super Bowl,
can we
and you
also-
go to your Instagram page, and I just saw you doing a keg stand in your living room, and you're going to tell me that you're too ill to come into work?
Can we also put out there that you cannot call into work sick under any circumstances for a hangover?
No,
You
that's
can't do
bush
that.
league.
Dude, that's bush.
Yes.
Grow up.
Yes.
Be a man.
Yeah.
You were the one that drank. Suffer the consequences. You got to go to work and do your job.
Yeah, do a railer or two and rally and get yourself up. Give yourself a red Gatorade. Let's
You know
make
what?
it happen.
Do what you need to do. You're a man.
Play like a champion.
That's right.
Yes.
Maybe start drinking.
Hair of the dog. I am so with you that the excuse of I'm hungover to not do anything.
I never do it.
That's amateur bush league crap.
That's right. It's all my choices.
Exactly.
I'm going to live with my choices.
Yes.
If I have stuff to do, look, here's the way I operate. This is not a hard concept to understand either.
Yeah.
If I have stuff to do tomorrow, guess what? I'm not having the final.
And if you do, oh well, we've all
That's
been there.
right. If you do,
Yeah, you know what?
You still doing your stuff.
Set the alarm.
Nothing
wake up,
changes.
Wake up and go.
Grow up.
I'm so with you. I hate that excuse.
So anyway, the big Super Bowl divide on Sunday
It's so stupid.
is Bad Bunny
Yes.
versus MAGA.
Yeah.
And what I was reading today is that your fearless leader,
Of course.
whom you stormed the Capitol for on January 6th,
Allegedly.
whatever year that was, seems like
Seems like a while
100
ago.
years ago, but it wasn't.
I think it was 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Time is moving very slowly right now.
Yeah. I know. We got 3 more.
Three more what?
You know.
Years of your leader? Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
He's going to watch. So Trump is going to watch the game.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, the rumor was that he was going to go to the game.
Well, they said he's going to watch the game. He might be at the game. I don't
Okay.
know. But they said he's going to watch the game, but he will turn to a different channel. There will be an alternative halftime show.
Yes, the Turning Point, the Charlie Kirk folks are putting on their own halftime show, which
And he will be watching that.
I don't think there's any real way to watch it. I think it's just online, but they are.
Well, that's a real way to watch it. Is it not?
I don't think it's getting widespread. Look,
What do you
gonna
think
be
the big ratings will be for the Kid Rock,
Lee Bryce?
Lee Bryce, and Brantley Gilbert halftime show?
You'll get. There'll be a lot of people that will bitterly and click over there. They'll inflate some numbers. I mean, 127 million people watch the Super Bowl. The halftime show is always the most watched part of that. So I'm going to say that will be 127 million to 500,000,
Oh, is that all?
maybe a mil that will tune into it.
Does it make you sad Tommy Tuberville won't be watching the Super Bowl?
Oh no, not Tommy Tuberville.
Does that make you sad?
Well, it seems like the most. First off, he's an American citizen. I just like to point that out. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. He's already performed at the Super Bowl a couple years ago. He was performing. He's the world's biggest star right now. He's the most downloaded musician in the world. And if it's not your cup of tea, I'm guessing Lady Gaga wasn't your cup of tea. I'm guessing that Beyonce wasn't your cup of tea. But this is the one that we've now decided that you can't watch.
Well, this is different.
I mean, grow up.
This is
Grow
grow
up, snowflake.
This is different.
This is different.
He's going to do the whole show in Spanish. How am I supposed to understand it?
As if they understood Kendrick Lamar. Something tells me that anyone that didn't understand, or that isn't going to understand Bad Bunny, probably wouldn't understand Kendrick Lamar.
Well, you want to talk about someone that makes many Americans uncomfortable. I give you Bad Bunny.
Yes.
Because it's not just. Well, he's from Puerto Rico.
Yes.
So
Oh, no.
yeah, right. But
The amount of people that are figuring out, by the way, for the very first time that when you're from Puerto Rico, you are United States citizens, I think
Right.
that's blowing a lot of people's minds.
Education, one way
Hey,
or the
look
other.
at that.
But he's a lot of his stuff is in Spanish.
Yes.
His sexuality, like he plays around with the sexuality thing, and then his dress, what he wears.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a dude,
Yeah.
and I think the NFL might have done this on purpose. I don't know. But you want to talk about a dude that makes a lot of MAGA uncomfortable.
It's going to cause a buzz.
I give you Bad Bunny.
Well-
They could not have picked. I think he's different than some of the other acts you just mentioned, and I think it's great.
Well, might I add, Prince performed in assless chaps.
Yeah.
This is not the first time we've had a controversial halftime
But
act.
Jason, Prince was from Minnesota.
Yes, he was.
You son of a bitch.
That's right. He was also a small androgynous little fellow as well, but I just
Yeah, but could he guitar though?
he could. Look,
There are 100 petitions on change.org.
to get rid of Bad Bunny.
100 protesting this performance.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why they don't combine them, but whatever.
I'm willing to guess that this will be the most watched halftime show of all time because it's the Howard Stern theory, right? You will definitely get some people that tune into Kid Rock for the love of God. But I think this will be the Howard Stern model is you always get a ton of people that watch the Super Bowl halftime show. Remember, the Super Bowl halftime show is not for the people watching the game. It's for the casuals. It's for the wives, the daughters, the neighbors that don't care. And he is the most streamed artist in the world. So you will automatically get a big bump from that. And then you will get a ton of people that want to tune in to see what he's going to do to piss off MAGA. And you're going to get the MAGA people that tune in to want to be pissed off by him. You are going to get the Howard Stern effect where I'm willing to wager then this is what the NFL is banking on. This will be the most watched halftime show of all time. If there's a bet I could put on that, that'd be the one bet that I would make.
Well, I will be watching, mainly because I know nothing of Bad Bunny, so I want to see what he's all about.
The BTJ loves him. I've seen him in a couple movies. I'm not familiar with a lot of his songs.
I don't think I could pick him out of a lineup.
I can pick him out. I know of Bad Bunny. I just don't. Like a lot of guys in my gym are into like the reggaeton and stuff, and they love it.
Why is he named Bad Bunny?
I know this. I just found this out the other day, and I don't remember off the top of my head. There is a reason behind it, though.
We're both Googling.
Yeah.
So you know. Childhood photograph where he was forced to wear a bunny costume
That's
to
what it
school
was.
and looked visibly angry and grumpy.
Yes. Yeah, that's right, because you can see the photos out there.
All right. Well, it's going to be a battle. Something tells me Bad Bunny will win.
And then just every time the NFL, goes down this road, you have to hear from the people that are like, I'll never watch the NFL again. Go
Tommy
woke.
Tuberville.
Yeah, go woke, go broke. Oh, the gay agenda. Oh, the woke agenda. Oh, the kneeling agenda. And yet, last time I checked, the NFL just keeps rolling. And we no longer have the ability, if we don't like something, to just not watch it. Like, it's not that hard. If the Super Bowl halftime show isn't for you, you don't have to watch it. But it's no longer okay to not just watch it. You now have to rage tweet it.
Well, no, you don't have to rage tweet. You just have to watch Kid Rock.
Yes.
And I'm sorry about that, too.
While rage tweeting, trust me, even the people that supposedly are going to be watching Kid Rock, they won't be. They'll be watching Bad Bunny, rage tweeting about Bad Bunny while pretending to watch Kid Rock.
I'm going to rage tweet about Bad Bunny. You watch. I'm going to be very critical. What's up, Kurt? Kurt Ludwig in the house, everybody. Looks like he wants some airtime.
I think so.
Loitering. Hey, that headset free over there, guys?
You don't want that. Look, this is the point. Look at.
Yeah, he wants. He's got something to say.
Boy, buckle up if Ludwig gets on the air at this point.
All right, coming up next. I'm sure it's nothing. This is the Club on the Fan.
Dirt and Spread.
We're back. Fan man, we're in the midst of radio excellence.
I was talking to the brand man. I was bitching about our equipment. I'll be sending a sternly worded email to the boss. Yeah, he's out of office. Send him an email now. He's out of office. He's sitting right here drinking a beer.
You can just yell at him from here.
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care. We've reached the point in the evening where no one does. Once we've reached full Ludwig, everything, like, there's no one left. See, this is Steven's first experience of this back in Vaughn Control. You now know, Steven, that this is what happens when we go out on remote. It's just, it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
It's a road game all the way.
Well,
and you reach this point in the evening, and now it's really out of control because everyone that should care is down here soused.
I did notice by the time the show started, the entire building was empty. I was the only one left.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about it, too, is they all come down here, and not one of them listens to anything. Like, we're just in a corner doing the show, and they're all just socializing, drinking beer, not listening to anything. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating world.
It really is.
By the way, next week I want to announce we're going to be out at a welding shop. We're going to do a live show out
there. A lot of banging chains going on. Have you seen the... do you watch The Lord of the Rings at all? Have you seen those movies?
Yeah, I like The Lord of the Rings.
So, yeah, the Lord of the Rings, the intro, the big clanging, there's a video on how they did that, and it literally is just an old man with two chains slamming them into like a metal drum. And it does kind of feel at times when we're out on the air that there is just someone standing behind us just banging pieces of metal together.
Just to try to make it hard.
Yeah.
Look, it builds character.
Yeah.
We're led by Mike Vrabel.
He's doing the Warriors come out and play thing.
That's right.
We need some beer bottles to like clang together. The Mac Collins. Have you seen that?
That I don't know what you're talking about.
So I guess Rabel shows, like lots of people do it, but he shows inspirational movie clips.
Okay.
What
a bit.
Well, this is how silly football players are. Like, we make such a big deal over the Dan Lanning motivational speeches. And so coaches do this where they're like, we're going to fire the guys up. So I guess Rabel shows movie clips. So, like, to get people ready, they'll show, like, a clip from Braveheart or something.
Sure.
And so I guess Rabel showed one from, you've never seen The Warriors?
Is that a movie?
It's a movie from, like, the 70s about, like, street gangs.
No.
And there's a scene in there where it's the whole, Warriors come out and play, and the guys clanging beer bottles together. And for whatever reason, like, the players took to that. And so someone asked him, like, why did you play that clip? He goes, I was running out of clips. I don't know. I just played one. And that one stuck. And so now, like, if you look on all their like, Mike Vrabel's, like, sweater vest that he wears, he has the Warriors logo on him. And you'll see the players walking in, like, clanging beer bottles together, and they're wearing, like, vests. Okay. And it's from a kind of a cheesy 70s movie called The Warriors.
Whatever works, man.
Yeah. But then, of course, we in the media, people pick up on it and be like, that's why Mike Vrabel's the coach of the year.
That's right.
Motivation like that.
Little do we know he was just running out of clips.
Yes! But now he's a genius because of it, all because a couple players were like, what is this movie from the 70s?
I also read today that Mike Vrabel makes you pick up your dirty laundry. Did you read that one?
No.
Yeah, in the locker room. You're not allowed to throw your dirty stuff on the ground. He makes you pick it up. Like a mom.
This is the Warriors.
All right.
That's the inspiration behind it.
Okay.
So.
Well, got to tell you, I'm fired up.
Let me just say, from my experience, there is nothing that is more overblown in the world than the coach motivation thing. It just is adorable because I promise you, whatever Mike Vrabel is doing to fire up his team, the Seattle Seahawks are just as fired up. This is like when Oregon was playing Indiana and people were like, oh man, Dan Lanning's going to be so pissed. No one believes in Oregon. Can you imagine how motivating Dan Lanning's going to be? And you're like, you realize Indiana is probably going to be just as fired up because, well, the national championship. I doubt that Mike Vrabel's movie clip before the game is going to swing the pendulum one way or another.
Do you want the washcloth dirty laundry story?
Yeah, what do we got?
Yeah, I read this on Yahoo. I pulled it up. So it says, who is this guy? Okay, so this is their center, Garrett Bradbury. He said, I think 99% of people Okay, so this is the warning surfaced in response to players leaving dirty washcloths on the locker room floors. A bin to retrieve clean washcloths rested beside a bin to deposit dirty ones. Not every Patriots player was availing himself on the second one. Okay, so they're making somebody pick up their dirty washcloth.
Sure.
Okay, so then Bradbury says, I think 99% of people would have been like, hey guys, can you pick up your washcloths and put them in the bin? But Mike Vrabel is not 99% of people.
No.
Nor does he hold his players to the standards of the 99%. So Vrabel told players they had two options. The first, throw your washcloths in the dirty laundry bin, and the equipment staff would wash them as previously expected.
Okay.
The second, continue leaving them on the floor, and Vrabel would instruct the staff not to wash them, and instead simply return dry, unlaundered washcloths back in the bin with the clean ones. Behold, showers with your teammates' dirty washcloth.
And therefore, a champion
And
was
that
built.
is why the Patriots are in the Super Bowl.
I love it. Well, to be fair, we've got like 2 weeks of media stories that have to be written, and there's only so much you can write about a game, and so then we end up with washcloth stories.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah,
washcloths and the Warriors.
I got to tell you, dude, I advocate for 1 week. They got to go back to the 1 week thing. I am so glad I was on vacation for several of the days in between.
You missed it?
Oh my God, I hate it.
They'll never go back because the teams need they need the room for media day and travel, and then you got to fly in the girlfriends, and then you got to fly in the wives, and you got to make sure they're separate, and you know you got to go to the parties.
A lot of coordinating.
Yeah.
But
There's always great stories about there, like Walter Payton, like where you had to deal with the girlfriend and the wife. I mean, those are tough.
It's hard. Yeah.
Those are
a lot
tough.
of logistics.
A lot of logistics.
All right, we have Epstein news.
We do.
Yes, we do. That is coming up next. But first, here's Von Control with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, Matthew Stafford was named NFL MVP last night at the NFL Honors. Stafford received 24 of 50 first place votes, finished with 366 points, while Drake May got second. He got 23 first place votes and finished with 361 points. It was the closest race since Peyton Manning and Steve McNair were co-winners back in 2003. But more importantly, Stafford announced he will be returning to the Rams next season. Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz is no longer the defensive coordinator. He resigned, that the team announced today. After he missed out on the head coaching job, he said he no longer wanted to be working with the Cleveland Browns, and they will now be looking for a new DC in Cleveland. Pro Football Hall of Fame announced his class of 2026. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig were all made it. Of course, we knew Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft did not make it. University of Arizona has extended head football coach Brett Brennan through the 2030 season. And the Trailblazers, they are hosting the Grizzlies tonight. Denny Advia is out. Scoot Henderson will be active and make his season debut for the Trailblazers. Blazers on a 5-game losing streak are 8.5-point favorites over the Grizz. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Stephen Vaughn from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, we're back.
Nice! Yeah, we got Epstein news, guys.
Oh, boy. Do you think anything actually matters, though?
No.
I
But
mean,
I'll
it's-
report it to you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate the fact that seemingly every powerful person in the world is a pedophile, and
That's right.
they're and we know that there's thousands and thousands of victims, but no one actually did anything. All you have to do is like, it's all misunderstanding, and nothing ever comes of it.
Well, nothing matters anymore.
No.
And this is why we drink.
Yes.
Okay, so we got that out of the way.
Okay, just so we're clear.
But here's the story. Jeffrey Epstein. So there's newly released Department of Justice documents.
Yes.
Okay, and they show that investigators reviewing the footage, the surveillance footage of the night that he died
Or committed suicide.
In prison.
Yeah.
They observed an orange-colored shape moving up a staircase toward the isolated locked tier
Okay.
where his cell was located at approximately 10:39 p.m.
So he's killed by a tiger? Is that what we're talking about? Tony the Tiger did this? I knew it.
It's possible.
Big Kellogg's, man.
By the way, that was 2019.
Really? He died
Yeah.
6 years ago?
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Huh.
To think
So he
about?
didn't kill himself 6 years ago. Wow, that has been a long time.
Well, they're saying that entry in an observation log of the video from the Metropolitan Correctional Center appears to suggest something previously unreported by authorities. A flash of orange looks to be going up the L-tier stairs. Could possibly be an inmate.
Yeah, that wore orange jumpsuits.
Being escorted up to that tier.
Yeah, because he
Or
was
it-
wearing orange when he died too.
Or it could be someone, carrying a bunch of, inmate clothing. Yeah, that's what they're saying. So that's the big news.
I still like my theory of a cartoon tiger mauled him to death.
Well, that's possible too.
Big Kel. I'll tell you what.
You can't really make it out.
Which is more likely, a cartoon tiger killed him or he killed himself? I'm going to go ahead and say that more likely.
So you're talking about Tony the Tiger?
Tony the Tiger. Well, he's got that neckerchief on that he's wearing, and he's always around kids. You know, Tony the Tiger was great. He was always with young boys.
Tony had a lot to protect.
Yeah, you know, that's their Big Kellogg's. I'm just saying. I think those things are very, very plausible. That scenario is more likely. But stuff like Bill Gates is now doing interviews. We're like, dude, Bill, we know that you're screwing kids.
Well, no, we don't know that.
We do know it.
He came out and he said.
Oh yeah.
He said he really regrets being photographed.
Yeah.
With Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, and being a good friend of his. Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the. Do you ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Sometimes. Is that show still on?
Yeah, it's still going. There is a Frank Reynolds who is one of my heroes.
Yeah.
There's a great
Danny
episode.
DeVito.
Danny DeVito. There's a great episode where he's friends with Epstein, and he goes, hey, yes, was I on that island? But I was just there for the snorkeling. And he goes, 95% of what happened on that island was great. There was the 5% that ruined it for everybody. That's what everyone's doing. Steve Tisch, the owner of the Giants, this isn't like allegations. There's emails back and forth of Jeffrey Epstein, who was he had already been, I don't know if he'd been convicted, but he had already been outed as a child predator. And there's emails back and forth between setting him up with professionals. And Tisch is like, well, I regret these conversations that I had. How dumb do they think we all are? And yet seemingly it's working because there's no repercussions.
We are pretty dumb. I mean, let's be honest. By the way, I love your Tony the Tiger theory. What about Tigger?
That, again.
Could it have been Tigger?
Christopher Robin's young boy spends a lot of time
Winnie
around
the Pooh
Tigger.
didn't even wear pants.
Boy, turns out Piglet? Turns out that 100-acre wood? Man, I knew there was something weird about that.
I mean...
You're right, Pooh never wore pants.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wore pants.
It could also have been Hobbs of Calvin and Hobbes.
Hey.
Bridge too far.
You watched your dirty
Hobbs.
mouth. I won't listen to that S for 2 seconds. Hobbs was a treasure. Syracuse.
Yeah.
What about the Syracuse Orange? You trust that big fat orange thing that's just running around?
So Hobbs was Calvin's pet tiger, right?
Yes.
Hobbs was like a 6-year-old boy. You know that, right? Or I mean, Calvin was like a 6-year-old boy.
Look, I don't like where this is going. Suddenly, this is taking a bad turn.
Well, they said it was orange.
I don't like this. Hobbs would never. Trust me, I know Hobbs. Hobbs would never do that. Hobbs was lovable. He was
So was Tony.
He was a lovable, plushable tiger. But like, at least like over in Europe, at least some of like the diplomats that are caught in this are having to resign. There was like a couple people from Norway had to resign. The royal family kicked the one out.
Andrew.
Yeah. Here, no.
Yeah, Andrew. I always love watching him try to fumble through it all. Like he's caught red-handed.
Yes.
But nothing's happened to him.
No. Not one person is going to go to jail over this. Not one.
Well,
not a single person. Oh yeah, Maxwell.
Ghislaine.
Yeah.
She's still in prison.
She's like in some cush, like low security thing, like walking around right now. She's not even like in real prison.
Mm-hmm.
I think her prison's nicer than my house.
Probably is.
It's
wild.
It really is. You would think that eventually if there's one thing that could bring everyone together, it would be this, because there's people from all over the world on both sides of the political spectrum, all the rich people. You would think that would be enough for the masses to get together and be like, every one of these rich elitist sons of bitches was doing the most evil crap on earth. Let's hold them accountable. And yet somehow we're like, Kid Rock. Turning point. It's no one cares.
Again, nothing matters. This is why we drink.
Nothing matters.
Let's take a break.
I've been waiting to take down Tony the Tiger for a while. I'm going to keep pushing this theory.
When we come back, we will wrap up our... Well,
whatever
look,
this was.
I don't know what this was.
It was something.
I don't know if it was any good.
It was something.
I'll tell you what, it's some of our finest work.
I'll tell you what.
Whether it was good or not.
We put in 4 hours today.
Damn right.
We punched that clock.
4 hours. 4 big, long hours with a lot of breaks in between.
Yes.
We will wrap it up next on The Fan.
And we're back.
Yes. Hello.
You're catching the fever of Knicks basketball?
Well, I was wondering what. Lowercase is over there. He's been our on-site engineer today.
Yeah.
So we can blame everything on him. He's over there watching a basketball game, and I wondered what he was watching. I thought maybe he was watching St. John's UConn,
The Blazers.
which is the game of the night.
The Blazers play tonight. I
Yeah,
think
they're later.
I think we're getting Scoot tonight, by the way.
Yeah, Scoot's back, but that doesn't start till next hour. So I was wondering what is he watching, and he's watching the Knicks Pistons,
Oh.
and the Pistons are up by 40.
The Pistons are up by 40?
Correct.
Good Lord.
30.
Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the best team in the East, your Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, 105-69, 36.
God.
Yeah, bit of a blowout.
Yeah,
going
I
on.
would.
Now lowercase just living a life over there. Now he's got
got a
somebody just delivered him
He's got a-
nice fresh hot wings.
I will say that when you see the youngins out, like the lower cases, Will Ortner was this way. Even some of the young sales execs. Going down on the road is the best because it's free food
Free
and drink,
food, baby.
and they will just live
That's
it
right.
up. Like, what? Free food?
That's right.
Lowercase, this may be the only meal Lowercase has for like the next like 3 or 4 days. So, you know.
Well, that's how you know we're old. They always offer us a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
come
yeah.
on in, we're like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I had that. The great Joe Fisher is
The
here.
great Joe Fisher.
Yeah. So
Sitting right in front of us.
I often get a lot
The
of
ladies are all over him.
I get a lot of flack because Joe Fisher runs in the same the gal group that I run in.
Yeah.
The BTJ's best
So
friend.
I hear.
Yes.
So you guys are buds.
So Joe goes to a lot of the gals' social events. I do not. and
He
Joe's
says good food.
yeah, and this is Joe's thing. He's like, hey, are you going to so-and-so? And I just look at him, and he's like, oh. And then I'll be like, they have food there. And I'm like, Joe, I can get my own food. So I'll just go ahead and pay for my own meal and not go to something that I don't want to. Whereas Joe, on the other hand,
He'll just go for the free food.
Joe will go to, no matter what it is, Joe will go because there's free food.
Yeah.
And that's where we just are at different points in life.
Right. Joe, how old are you? Oh, yeah, he's only 34.
Yeah.
He's a youngin'.
Yeah. Because a lot of these things, it's like an hour away from my house. So I have to get in a car, drive an hour, knowing there's an hour to go home, to sit around a bunch of gals and listen to them whatever, and then you get to eat food. Or I can just go get takeout from a place that's 10 minutes from my house.
Right.
And Joe's like, yeah, it's really good Polynesian food. I'm like, I got a great Hawaiian place like 5 minutes from my house. Problem solved.
Yeah, these that's another example of why it's sometimes great getting older.
Yes.
Like you just
Yeah.
things like free food don't matter to you anymore.
No.
And that's a good thing because free food to me at the age of 50 means I'm just going to eat too much.
Exactly.
I don't need it.
No. It's like the idea of, hey, do you want to help me move? I'll get you a pizza. No. I'll buy my own pizza and not help you move.
How about this? I don't want pizza or to help you move.
Exactly. Hey, now, don't get me wrong. An open bar can be fantastic. But you know where else I have an open bar? My living room.
That's right.
And it's a nice little bar. I can do that. That often will be another one that Joe will tell me, hey, there'll be good bourbon there. I got good Irish whiskey at my house. And I can be on my own couch. So there's different allures to try to get you out there.
I don't blame the kids, though. I get it.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Radio, a lot of perks.
Occasionally, the BTJ will drop one of these on me, too. She'll try to entice me with the strip club. She's like, hey, we're going to a strip club. And I'm like, I'll wait till you get home. I'll see those when I get home. And I got a big screen TV in front of me connected to the internet.
What a pig.
I'm good.
Can you believe this pig?
Yeah. Well, again, she knows that you're going to have to lure me out with something more. She'll, like, text me at night because she's out with her friends. She's like, do you want to come meet us? And I'm like, no. And she used to try to lure me in with, what if we go to Mary's? I'm like, you think that's getting it done? No. No offense, but Mary's is a great time, but that's not getting me off the couch.
Can I just say, is there anything worse than when the lady is out and she wants you to come out way after they've started drinking?
No, it's the worst.
No chance.
Zero.
Why the hell would I want to come into that?
Exactly.
It's a trap.
Thank you.
Get out of here with that.
You're walking in. You're walking into You're walking into a trap.
There's a reason I wasn't there in the first place.
Bingo.
It hasn't changed.
No. Because they're already lubed up, and you're coming in already.
Exactly.
You're like, you haven't been pre-gaming with them.
Yeah.
You don't want to be there in the first place.
You're not at the same vibe level.
No.
There's no way you can make that work.
No, you can't. You will never be on the same plane ever. Just won't work. But that is something that comes with age. That's one of those experience sort of. It's an experience sort of thing that
Joe, when you get
achieved.
older, you know what you want.
Yeah.
Right now, you just want free food. You don't know this, but you don't want free food.
I'm convinced that you could get Joe Fisher to do anything for free food. If there's free food, free golf balls, free alcohol, I believe Joe Fisher will show up.
You will never live the golf ball thing down.
Joe, I believe.
I would hope you do.
I believe that if we asked Joe right now to drive to Aloha, but I told him there was 36 Pro V1s sitting there waiting for him, and all he had to look at him. He's driving to Aloha right now.
36?
36. You know what? 24. No,
Like
you're going for 2.
From here?
From here.
Where do you live? He lives in Newburgh?
Well, that's kind of, yeah, we got to go the other way. No, all right, we're going Vancouver.
How
We got to
far
go the
would
other
you-
way.
Wait, here's the question. 36 Titleist Pro V1, brand new boxes.
Brand new box.
Free. How far would you drive to go pick those up? From here. He
Yeah.
said, well, like, give me mileage.
You're 30 minutes. You're going
Or
30
minutes.
minutes. Yeah, that's an hour round trip.
Oh, he said 15 or 20 minutes.
No, you're going 30 minutes. 15, 20 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Highway. So that's 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're an
He's
hour.
playing a technicality game.
We're an
here.
hour round trip.
Yeah, I think he would.
And by the way, 2 Pro V1s and a nice fried chicken meal. I think you're doing it for that too.
Would you drive to Seattle right now? If up there was a plate of wings
A dozen?
and 12 boxes of Titleist
12 dozen
12.
Pro V1s, Joe.
12 boxes.
12 boxes.
Yes, 144 golf balls.
You're doing it. Look, you're getting
Right
it.
now, get in the car.
Brand new.
Yes.
No,
For free.
For free, Joe.
Can you believe that? He says he could make a night out of Seattle.
Yeah. I appreciate that. That's
Hell, I might do that.
zero chance. You
Now just
kidding me?
buy them. Ship them here.
Rob, you wouldn't walk down the block.
I think I would.
I could
144 golf balls?
10
the
blocks.
block?
You got to walk 10 blocks.
I might send lowercase. Give him half.
10 blocks, because that's going to be like what? We're going to about a mile and a half,
Yeah,
2 miles?
Lowercase would go. Dude, I'll give you 6 free lowercase. I'll give you 6 free Titleist Pro V1 boxes. I need you to go down and pick up these 12 boxes. You're going. Yeah, he's like fine.
Rob's delegating authority. That right therein lies the difference in just kind of where we're at. Age thing.
It's an age thing.
One's driving to Seattle and Rob's like, how far away is it? I'm not walking there. I'm not doing that.
I love it.
Yeah. But yes, I often get flack because I never go to any of these group functions and Joe is there. Like when I show up, it's Uncle Joe, and then all the kids are like, who's that weird guy in the corner?
Does that make you feel bad that Soup doesn't show up to these functions?
It's free food.
He doesn't care that you're there. Yeah, he is. You are missing out.
I'm all right.
Free food and wine, he says.
I do every now, like once in a while, like every like 8th one, the lady looks at me and is like, you're going. They're like, everyone's going to think that we hate
you
each
do have
other.
to. I mean,
you have to, yeah.
You got to show up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Just to pretend.
Well, look, I think we can admit that of the friend group, I don't think I have the best reputation when I'm not around. Something tells me when I'm not there, it's not like people are necessarily sad that I didn't make an appearance.
Right. Now, do the girls talk crap about Soup while they party? Yeah, he's an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, you got to set the so that's the problem is you have to set the expectation early that you're not going to be there. Because like people early on in the dating relationship, you think you have to go. And I set the early precedent that no, I don't have to. That way I've never been a part of it. Therefore, it's not like I pulled back. I just was like, she made the mistake of asking, do you want to go? And I'd be like, no, that sounds terrible.
I hear the music.
Yes.
Okay, Steven's texting me. See, this is how we're doing the show tonight. Stevens is saying 15 seconds left in the show by text. So we got to go. Thanks to Tullamore Dew for having us out. This was a lot of fun. Thanks to Video Only. And everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. And we are back Monday Thanks to Steven back in the studio. Vaughn Control did a great job. And lowercase, thank you for hanging out with us here. So thanks to all of you. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We're back Monday, 3/7. Good night.